Hey, family. This is my first time actually really talking today. Welcome to a very special 1 year anniversary edition of Bluecentric Live. This is our birthday. Actually, our birthday is July 31st, but I'm going to be really busy tomorrow. And this one is extra special. You guys know that I always do my moisture routine before we get started. This one's extra special because number one, this is the 1 year anniversary of the live that changed everything. And if you see me looking away, it's because you guys might not know this. Well, actually, some of you do. I am someone who was raised Christian, converted to Buddhism in 2013. People always call me the most Christ-like Buddhist I've ever met. I still love Jesus Christ and all that good stuff. It's the Christians that I needed to break from. So me and Christ ain't got no beef. Shout out to Sky Daddy. But I am technically a witch by lineage, meaning, and I know the word witch is very politicized because, it's supposed to be anti-Black and anti-woman, but it's in my bloodline. It's not something I chose. It's in my lineage. My Cuban side is heavily influenced by Santeria. Now, why am I mentioning this before we start our today's story time? I'm mentioning this because as someone who did not choose to be so spiritually inclined and ironically is a skeptic who, if I was not psychic and was not a bit of a witch, would not believe in them. I'm gonna be honest. Those of you who don't have gifts and believe in this shit, you have more faith than me. I was a skeptic, did not believe in it until it yanked me up and said, now, bitch, right? So knowing the conversation we were going to have to do today, I am currently dipped. I took a spiritual bath before doing all this. I'm currently covered and dripping in protection magic right now. I have a lot of protection oils that I've been dabbing behind my ears. I took a spirit bath. I lit a candle. I communed with my aunt on the altar today. Even right now, I have evil eye amulets around me. I don't think when people say, Blue, you smell good, they don't realize what they're smelling. It's just spiritual products that just happen to smell good. And I'm saying that because I know that a year out, in the words of my good friend Bridget Kelly, a year is really not that long, right? Wounds take longer than a year to heal. Mind you, it's been 2 years since all this happened, but a year since I broke my silence because I was quiet for 14 months and people were lying on me because I was quiet, which is why I had to speak. And I'm saying this as a warning. Anybody who's going to watch this with the intention of mess, be careful. Anybody who was watching this to be messy, who's excited to share it in a messy, nasty way, who's going to want to talk shit about it in the group chat, you might want to be careful. Because the amount of work I've done, that's probably not going to work out well for you. So if you watched it to be messy, this is me showing grace and warning you, you might want to leave. I'm a good witch. Not only did I succeed, every time people try to do things against me, I just become more powerful and make more money. So that's why I don't take shit personal. So just be safe. It's not a threat because nothing's going to happen to me and I'm not the one who's going to do anything. So it can't be a threat, right? I just work here. I'm just saying, if you watched here to be on some bullshit, just know that I am at the height of protected in this very moment intentionally. And because of that, anything nasty directed at this endeavor is going to bite you in the ass in a way that I can't save you from. And many of you behind the scenes know my lore. There's a lore that I share publicly. There's a lore that goes on about me privately. The people in the industry know I'm protected. And they know that the hard way. People who don't even believe have said, hey, I don't believe in this shit, but whatever the fuck you got on you, I believe in it, because what the fuck was that? Exactly. So now that I've made sure that y'all know how I'm walking into this so that you can keep yourself safe, let's start the story time. Welcome to a special edition of Bluecentric Live. If you are new here, welcome to our family. My name is Blue Toulousma. I'm a writer, producer, an emotional intelligence coach, a teacher, and someone who uses pop culture and politics as a way to illustrate the importance of emotional intelligence. Many of you don't know that I'm a producer. In fact, Bluecentric, this page used to be the page of Bluecentric Productions. I ran a production company for 5 years. I have executive produced 6 different podcasts. I actually was the director who was in charge of starting up and running and completely harnessing all the talent that I could find from Netflix and other places. And I poached them for the Griot, for us to launch the Griot's podcast network. Since leaving the Griot, I'm now making a shit ton of money working for myself. Why is it important for you guys to understand? It's important for you guys to understand because as somebody who is deeply spiritual, worked in politics, works in digital media, has been in positions of power, and has been a fixer in ways that I can't talk about too much. You guys know I'm going to always be vague when I talk about that. I'm more connected than I will ever say because I don't ever need to actually say it, right? People quietly pass my name around when they need someone to help with the thing. My entire career has been about being in the shadows. So last year, somebody said, let us know. I'm just reading off so you have some level setting. Last year, when someone publicly threatened me and I felt as if I had to publicly respond, I need you to understand how against everything I stand for that was. The girl who's been moving in the shadows for 20 years and I'm your fave, even though you don't know who the fuck I am. That girl is not the kind of girl who's doing a 6-hour story time about her love life. What happened last year was the first time in my entire life that I broke the fourth wall. And it was magic. I quantum leaped because of it, right? Yes, I be real quiet on the creek. Baby, I am the creek. Like, I can't tell you how many folks, my friends will tell me a story and their eyes will light up and I'm trying to figure out how to tell them that I've been new and I just was keeping my mouth shut. I'm not secretive, by the way, right? I don't keep secrets. I'm private. What's the difference? Secretive is usually sinister and it's usually something for leverage, right? People keep secrets for leverage or out of shame. Private means it's your business and you keep it your business. You see the difference? I'm not secretive. I'm very transparent. I'm just private. And a lot of people don't understand the difference. So as a very private person who for decades people have gotten comfortable speaking ill of because they know I'll be the bigger person. Child, July 31st, 2025, when I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm choosing violence. It was, it caused the cosmic shift. If you're new here again, or if you are a member of the Blue Crew who just happened to miss this chapter, I would never put out this video that we're about to watch today without me watching it with y'all because, you know, I don't want my story to just be tethered to one ain't shit nigga and a couple ain't shit friends who played in my face and fucked around and found out. I'm bigger than that. And I've proven that over the last year that I'm much bigger than that. So guys, number one, if you are a member, make sure that you're still a member, because sometimes YouTube unsubscribes people. When I made the announcement about our membership and how it had spiked, a couple hundred people left because they were just lurkers who just wanted to be nosy. To the lurkers who left because they were trying to be nosy, shit's only going to get more interesting. So you're going to find yourself having to rejoin anyways. Whenever there's a mass unfollowing, when lurkers get a shout out and they're like, oh shit, she knows that we signed up for her members page to be in her business, let's run off. They always come right back because it's fun in the members area. So maybe the next time I call y'all out, just relax into it. Yes. So, oh yeah, you did miss the chapter. Okay. Welcome. Your cousin got divorced on July 3rd. Well, funny enough, July 31st is the birthday of my first love. Because, you know, I've dated and been engaged to a lot of Leo. So the fact that I was calling out the last nigga who would ever play in my face like that ever again, on the birthday of the first nigga who ever played in my face, it all felt very, and they're both Leos, it all felt very full circle, okay? So let's get into the story time. I'm going to try to talk as little as possible because, you guys, I'm seeing this for the first time in a year, my damn self. I did intentionally put on the same outfit. I had to go digging. I found it, though. This is the exact outfit I had on this time last year. My hair is very different, but it's going to feel like Inception. I have some snacks. I have a little charcuterie bowl. I got some protein. I got some veggies. I got some fiber. So if you see me nibbling, it's me eating my little healthy snacks. Oh, I forgot my chlorophyll. Got to add my chlorophyll water. So yeah, guys, we're going to start at the very beginning. So let's start with, sorry, let me just drop the chlorophyll is very potent. Color-wise. So whenever I put chlorophyll in my water, I have to be still because God forbid I get this green shit everywhere. You see how it changes everything green? And again, guys, I've been testing out different types of chlorophyll water so that when I do finally recommend one, It'll be worth it. Okay. All right, guys. So we're starting with a preview of, somebody said, please do a live about quantum leaping. You're absolutely right, Candice. I am going to do a live about quantum leaping because I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. Quantum leaping, it's so funny. Candice, it's so funny that you are saying that because before I came on, I started collecting videos about the ugly side of quantum leaping, like the things that don't tell you happen to you socially once you quantum leap into a prosperous chapter. Because we always talk about the pitfalls of failure. We don't talk about the pitfalls of success. So you're actually correct. I've already started, because y'all know I do long days long edits and research before I do any video. So I've already actually started researching for that video. So thank you for shouting that out. So let's start. There's 2 videos, guys, right? Somebody threatened me on Threads. It's a bad idea to threaten me, guys, because I'm never going to be scared. I'm just going to get mad. I'm a Taurus. We're bulls. We don't get scared. We get mad. So somebody threatened me on Threads last year. And I saw red and went on Instagram to shame the devil. I thought I was going to do like a quick 60, 90-minute live, 2 hours tops, right? And for some reason, and by some reason, it was probably God, Instagram wasn't working. Mind you, I've been doing these lives for, at the time, I had been doing them for 6 years on Instagram for free. I used to call it free game. So Bluecentric Live used to be called free game. And I was doing these long, epic 2-3 hour lives for free, just giving out free game and also telling people, hey, if you want to learn more, take my class. So 6 years in, I've gotten this free game thing down, never had an issue. The day that this nigga played in my face and threatened me publicly, nigga, I've been keeping your secrets for 14 months. Now you're threatening me publicly? I went on Instagram, and for the first time ever, Instagram Live didn't work. And I was like, huh. 3 days earlier, I had just learned how to live stream on YouTube. You see how God works? 3 days earlier, I had just learned how to go live on YouTube. And I was like, I don't know when I'm ever going to do this. Going live on YouTube sounds very technical and confusing. And I don't want to do all that, right? And it wasn't until Jessie Woo, and I will always shout out Jessie Woo for this. Send her love. Tell Jessie Woo that Blue Toulouse is sending her love, particularly on today of all days. Jessie Woo had me on her live. When she had me on her live, and I saw the interface, I said, wait a minute. Kevin from Hey, I think his name is Hey Kevin Hey or something. He has a really great news page on Threads and Instagram. Kevin had me on live about a year earlier for something like for the Grammys or something. So it was my second time seeing it, but seeing it, Kevin do it, and then seeing Jessie do it. And I'm like, this is actually not as complicated as I think. And that's what inspired me. I was like, Jessie, how did you learn how to do this? She's like, girl, just play with the buttons. So that night after I got off of Jessie's, and shout out to Jessie for being part of my story for this part. Right after I got off the live with Jessie, I said, well, Jessie said play with the buttons because I told her I'm not tech savvy. She told me just play with the buttons. I've now seen it. Yes, here's why, Kevin. Yes. I was like, I've seen it done twice now from Kevin, because you guys know I'm going to always shout out. This is one thing about a Taurus, well, emotionally stable Taurus, because some of us are crazy, right? Because you can be crazy in all the signs. An emotional stable Taurus remembers everything, which means if you're good to us, we will never fucking forget. I got people who I'm blessing who don't even remember why I'm blessing them, but I never fucking forgot. And if you are shitty to us, we also don't ever forget, right? So shout out to Kevin for being the first person to ever have me live. Shout out to Jessie for being the person saying, bitch, just press the buttons and figure it out. So I had spent like an hour pressing buttons trying to figure it out. Like, I think I got it. Thought I was never going to use it. 72 hours later, I'm like, fuck, Instagram doesn't work. I'm just going to go live on YouTube. I hope I know how to do it correctly. Girl, I didn't have a light. You see how you can see me perfectly lit? I had no light. There was no lighting. I didn't even think to clean off. You know how you know now to clean off your camera like this? I didn't even know how to clean up. I didn't even think to clean off the camera. Yes, the North remembers. Kevin and they're both Cancers. Oh, Cancers love Tauruses, so I appreciate that. So I just was like, I don't know what I'm about to do. I'm gonna press the button and hopefully, is this thing on? Can somebody see me? So July 31st, I get on the thing like, okay, the screen looked blurry. My face is bloated from stress because I had cortisol face. Shout out to me right now. Mind you, I'm about 20 pounds heavier now than I was last year because, hormones and stress and shit. But my face actually looks a lot more slimmer now because I was so stressed back then. I had cortisol face. So I'm bloated, exhausted. If you watch the video, I got dehydration. My mouth is chapped. I now have a little thing next to my computer where I keep my lip gloss. You know what I'm saying? I've learned these lessons, okay? Didn't know how to do none of this shit. But I said, I'm going to fucking go live and air this nigga out. So let's start with the first video, which is the video I did on Instagram. Because I couldn't go live, so I just made it a video and posted it, telling everybody, hey, meet me on the YouTubes. I don't know shit about the YouTubes, but we finna figure it out. And baby, look at us. Look at us. 52,000 followers, 2,700 private members later. We have figured it the fuck out, haven't we? It's our birthday. I kind of love this. Somebody said, I came online like Blue live for 2 hours. What happened? It ended up being 5 hours, 46 minutes, and 46 seconds. So let's watch the first video of me frustrated, trying to think of a plan B, not knowing that plan B was about to be the most popping plan A ever. Let's watch this. This live is going to be one for the record books. And I'm choosing violence today. This will be unlike any live that I've ever done in my entire life. This is really unfortunate. Someone has just threatened me on social media. Someone whose secrets I have been keeping for over a year. By the way, I considered it. I did consider doing the partition trend because this is very much my partition moment. And I've mentioned several times on here why it's really dangerous for emotionally intelligent women who are smart and have high IQs to date men who act like bad bitches. Ooh! I've only ever dated one bad bitch in my life, and it was last year. And he's also a pathological liar. And after 15 months of biting my tongue, today he lost his fucking mind. Forgot who I was and threatened me on social media. Funny thing enough, we went on our first date, Mercury retrograde, so it kind of makes sense that I'm going to choose to scorch the earth, Mercury retrograde. Oh my God. Also, in this story, I will be using one person's name. I'm not going to use his name, but I'm going to be using one person's name. And shout out to her. She and I had a very long conversation today where she gave me permission to use her name. So no one's name is being used without their consent. Okay. And I just want to let you guys know that this is going to sound very messy. If you do not believe in magic, if you do not believe in the occult, if you do not believe in therapy or emotional intelligence, this is going to feel very weird for you. So guys, go to the Bluecentric YouTube page, BLUECENTRIC, right? Go to the YouTube page and I will do it on StreamYard where there are no pauses and do the entire live on YouTube. So for anybody who's watching this now, wants to hear this story in its entirety, like get a snack, babe, because I'm about to go from the beginning to the end, including parts of the story that even the nigga who just attacked my character does not know. That's all going to happen on YouTube. Okay? All right. See you guys over at YouTube. It's Bluecentric. So it's youtube.com/C as in channel /Bluecentric. That's how you find channel pages. Okay? All right. See y'all soon. Bye. Before he can get a word out. Not me emotionally eating carrots. Y'all, I'm not sure how ready I am for this. First of all, I used to be outside a lot. I miss having a tan. But, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? All right, let's do it. Let's watch the fucking... Okay. So, that was me with makeup. I went and took a shower, washed all the makeup off. So this is me with no makeup. You see how contouring works? The minute you take the makeup off, my face, now you can see the stress. Right? And I did that on purpose to show you guys. A lot of times... Oh, this carrot is very carroty. Hold on. Part of my neurodivergence is sometimes when I'm chewing something and the texture is too crunchy, I have to spit it out. I'm not going to chew for 20 minutes. But After I posted that, I went and took a shower, wiped all my makeup off, looked like a drowned rat. For me, was stressed out, looked pale and tired, and said, let's go. Somebody said, you wanted me to do the dogs? You want to do the dogs now before we've even started? Isn't that a little premature? So also, too, on this show, Vanity Be Damned, I always want you guys to see what I look like with and without makeup. I don't ever want to be a slave to makeup. I was on Carlos' show on Monday with a naked ass face, just smiling at everybody's face. You know what I mean? I don't want to ever be one of those, oh, anti-aging. I look good for my age. I look good, period. I'm happy I can age because being aging means that you're not dead, right? So this is what I look like after I took a shower and we did the live. I'm going to make the video big. And I know I'm stalling. You guys, I'm stalling because I'm nervous. Can you tell? I don't get nervous very often. Does it not make sense that the only person that can make Blue Toulousma nervous is Blue Toulousma? That kind of fucking tracks. All right, y'all. Let's hit the fucking button. Hey, family. Surprise, surprise. I am going live today. And this is as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. For those of you who are following me on Instagram, who saw me try to go live on IG, but IG has been acting funny. I'm doing it here as an alternative. Okay. Let me give you guys a chance to come in. And let me make sure. And while she's doing that, I'm going to play the dogs real quick since y'all keep asking. I don't want y'all to keep asking for the dogs over and over again. Cleansing. Okay, now that the dogs have cleansed us, let's go back to Blue from 12 months ago. I hope everybody's well. This is going to feel messy to some people, but it's also going to be honest, so I'm okay with it. Surprise, surprise. Sorry, I'm just sending this to my sister because she said she wanted to be a part of the live. All right, hi guys. So today is interesting. If you are someone who already was on my Instagram page and you saw me go live on Instagram and I told you that Instagram was acting up, and so I moved it over to YouTube. While you guys are coming into the room, I'm just going to make sure I edit my settings real quick and make sure that this is the way that it needs to be. Save this button. Also, too, you know what's so funny is I am such a peaceful person when all things are considered. I know for a fact that when someone is as honest as I am, people often mistake being honest with being messy, but I'm actually not that messy. No. The only people who find me messy are the people who like to lie. So today, Jesse's in here. I love you, Jesse. And I love Jesse. I love Danielle. I love Bridget. I love everybody who's had my back, because if it wasn't for how much I ride for my friends and the fact that to an annoying degree I show compassion to people I care about, I don't think that I would feel as safe as I'm going to feel doing this live because a grown-ass man just threatened me on social media. I don't have lip fillers, guys. I know it's always so weird when people ask me if I have lip fillers. I've looked like this since I was born, but yeah, there's no lip fillers. Let me repeat this. A grown-ass man who pretends to be a nice guy for hundreds of thousands of followers across platforms and who tells jokes for a living just threatened me on social media because I called him out for stealing my content after remaining quiet for over a year of him lying about me behind my back. So I need you to know that I spent a year biting my tongue. The story I'm about to tell you ended. I'm not going to ever say his name, so somebody's going to have to say it. I'm never going to say his name. So I just need you to know the story that I'm about to tell you ended on May 21st, 2024, right? So on May 21st, 2024 is the last time that me and this man ever spoke to each other, ever had a real exchange with each other, right? He's been stalking my page and for God knows what reason ever since then. But the last time that he and I spoke was May 21st, 2024. It is now July 31st, 2025, right? So do the math. That is a year plus June, July. That's a year and 2 months. That is 14 months where I remained completely quiet. Do you know how much restraint it takes to know that someone who did you dirty has been lying on you for 14 months and you intentionally say nothing and just let them say whatever they want to say? You guys, I am Buddhist. And one of the things I've learned from Buddhism is that water always meets its level.
Yep.
And I knew that two things were going to happen from me not shaming this man and telling the truth. The first thing I knew was, because I caught him in so many lies and have so many receipts to prove them, right? Because I speak as if there's a judge watching. So I know he stalks my page. So I know he's going to see all this. I don't give a fuck. I speak as if I'm in a court of law, and I don't say anything on social media that I could not say with a judge and actually have corroborating evidence, witness accounts, and screenshots.
You guys, I've always been like that. If I wouldn't say it to a judge, I'm not going to say it online, which is why I don't ever have to sincerely apologize online, because if I didn't mean it, I wouldn't have said it. And that seems such a simple rule, right? Only saying what the fuck you mean online. You would think that's the obvious, but a lot of folks only say certain things online and they wouldn't stand 10 toes down in real life. Please get in the habit of only saying shit to niggas that you would say to their face. As somebody who keeps running into people in real life that I've talked about online, that rule has saved me. It saved me. There's no code switching, right? In fact, I feel like if we all did that, the internet would probably be a lot more fun. I have been told that this man took a video of me out of context, getting mad at him for something that he did. You guys need to know, men who are toxic, actually people who are toxic, let's not gender this because he's a bitch. Ooh. People who are toxic love to put things in out of context in the public zeitgeist to tell a false narrative. Y'all saw it happen when Jesse with that girl. Remember when that girl cut that video out of context and Jesse was getting death threats? Yeah. You know, whenever you were listening to something with Jonathan Majors, you were like, well, is it in context? Is it out of context? We're always asking this question of, well, what's the context? What's the context? Here's the thing about me and my autism and my great memory and my 10 years of journalistic background and my 20 years of being an emotional intelligence coach. I am a walking receipt. Oh, I'm a walking receipt. So I'm going to tell you the story time from the beginning of the story to the end of the story, including details that this man does not have, even to this day, about what I know, that if he had known, he might not have threatened me. Well,
and to the man who just threatened me, you're a pussy ass bitch.
Oh my God, Blue.
You are a pussy ass bitch who finally picked the right one.
We just started.
So let's get into it. Story time.
Oh my God.
How did I waste 4 months of my time with a baddie who ended up being my biggest hater? Well, first of all, I need to start by saying that I have dated a lot of men who are very conventionally attractive. Mm. And one thing that I will tell you is a lot of really attractive men, when they are dating and attracted to women who are not considered conventionally attractive, even if they want to fuck on you and think you're beautiful, they know that they have more power than you when it comes to social perception, because someone is more inclined to believe the tall, fine chocolate nigga than to believe the fat girl.
Yep.
Can we all just say that out loud?
Yep.
And so because this man only dates fat women, one of my friends pointed out to me after everything had happened, she was like, he thinks because his type is fat girls, he thinks because his type is big girls, that if any point when he does a big girl dirty, because he is tall and attractive and popular, people are going to be inclined to believe him simply based on optics, not on his character.
Okay. Why am I having this? Y'all, am I always this breathtakingly direct? My breath is took. Jesus. I don't think I can eat and watch this. I almost choked on a carrot and an egg. Okay. Okay, this is a lot. Okay. Y'all, I haven't chose violence in a while, so I didn't realize. Okay. Y'all are used to me. Give me a second, okay? All right. Okay, Blue. Oh, look. I mean, she ain't lie. It's my God today. This is just the intro. We haven't even aired the nigga out yet. Nigga, y'all, is the intros always this? Are the intros always like that? No, okay, y'all are co-signing a little bit in cap locks. Got it. All right, never mind. I'm gonna stop asking questions. Let's go back.
Now, you guys know I like to turn everything into a teachable moment. Okay. That is called the halo effect. When someone thinks that because they are pleasing
whether it's visually, financially, whatever. With them, it's not financially because he's broke.
Oh.
But when someone is pleasing in a way that they know is compelling to the general public, they know they have the halo effect. You want to believe attractive people.
Yeah.
You want to believe tall men. You want to believe people who dress nice and smell good. Can we all just be honest about that?
That's true.
Okay?
Yeah.
You all know that the halo effect is real. There have been studies that have shown that people who are attractive get paid more, get promotions more, get public favor more. They even get less jail time.
They do.
And so, in retrospect, I realized this man, the level of stupidity and audacity with which he has approached me with, he thought because he has 300,000 followers and I only have like 50 to 80,000 followers, depending on the platform, that he mistook his following for his power. Let's pause on that for a second. He mistook his popularity for power. Oh. Popularity is not the same thing as power. I got a 6-figure media job with only 1,000 followers.
Sure did.
Because rather than having a big following of everybody, powerful people who could offer me jobs were following me. Now, why is this important? I sincerely suspect that when this man started talking to me, he thought that I only had, I think at the time I had like 20,000 followers and he had 250,000. He thought she's a small content creator. Nobody really knows her like that because I don't know her like that. She's a plus size woman of a certain age. If this goes left, it's going to be so easy for me to lie on her. Oh, this is fun. I'm already having fun. Oh. So let's start at the beginning, guys. I hope that intro was helpful so that everybody knows where we're starting. Get a drink. This is going to be fun. All right. So in 2022, I had a psychic premonition that my mother was going to die. This is actually where the story starts. For those of you who don't know,
that's how we started. No, hold on now. Wait a minute. This is how we started. Wait. How are y'all okay? Wait a minute. That was a lot. Okay, this a lot. Do I want to reconsider doing this? Because this is a lot. We haven't even gotten to the story yet. And I am fed, I am full, and I am tired. How did y'all last the entire story? Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. This is, wow. I highly recommend watching yourself back. It's a lot of data. I'm getting a lot of data about just how, yes, a lot of, energy. Mind you, this was me exhausted. My God, today. 5 years old. And my dead grandmother came to me and gave me a message to give to my mother that was so specific. My mother was like, oh shit. And never once made me feel crazy or stupid. Mm-hmm. So I've learned the hard way that when I have a deep premonition, listen to it. So in 2022, I had just got back from London and something was like, the doctors keep telling you mother had a stroke. It's not a stroke. It is kidney failure. Take her to a specialist. So I rushed on a red-eye flight to Boston, took my mother to the emergency room to have a specialist look at her. And they literally looked me in my face and said, we don't know how you knew what was going on with her, but had you not brought your mother in today, she probably wouldn't have lived to her next birthday. First of all, it's wild hearing me recount that, knowing that we were running a little bit late today because I was talking to my mother 4 years later and she's alive. Oh, mommy. The pain and the shock that comes from knowing that your psychic gift has literally saved your mother's life is a heavy one. It's a heavy one, right? And my mother and I talk about it often. She's like, she was supposed to die in the summer of 2022. It is now the summer of 2025. My mother is still alive. So when that happened to me, I was like, fuck everything in my social life. My priority is making sure my mother stays alive. So from 2022 to 2023, I completely stopped dating. Yeah. My friends who were around, and I'm not going to cry, around that time will tell you, during this time, I made my mother my number one priority. I was constantly flying out to Boston, constantly going to the emergency room with her, constantly fighting with insurance companies, constantly making sure that this woman who gave me life had the life that she deserved because I wanted her to live long enough for me to be able to spoil her. Then in October of 2023, a full year later, so I had been celibate for a full year. Just saying that makes me itchy. Ugh. Yes, guys, I did not date or have sex or talk to anybody for a full fucking year.
In October of 2023, I went to go visit my mother for her birthday, and she got sent to the emergency room again on her birthday. And I was like, God, just let her live. When she lives, though, not if, but when she lives, I need to go back to real life.
Yeah.
I need to be able to go back to dating and socializing and having fun. I've given a year of my life to sitting by her bedside, going financially bankrupt, taking care of her. I need to be able to go back to real life when this is over. She goes to the emergency room and they tell me she's okay. I say, thank you, God. It is now Halloween. And on Halloween, I was supposed to be going to my friend Rosa Acosta's birthday party, but instead I was packing up to go back to LA after spending 72 hours in an emergency room crying by my mother's bedside.
Oh.
Now, why is this important? This tells you that in this moment, because of the trauma and what was happening, my psychic gifts were elevated, but my energy was low. I had such low energy. When I think about Blue in October of 2023, I want to hug her and tell her everything's going to be okay. It's not who I am now. So it's Halloween and I am about to pack because I have a flight to head back to LA. I end up extending my trip one more day. But on Halloween, I'm scrolling through my page and I see this attractive, tall, dark-skinned man. And he's wearing this really cool Halloween costume. And for those who don't know, Halloween is my favorite holiday. I'm a witch, so it makes sense. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. I love spooky season. And he's wearing this really interesting costume that I thought was really sexy. And I was like, that man's attractive. And something in my head said, you're going to date him next. And I was like, no, the fuck I'm not. Because I looked at his name and I realized who he was. A couple of years earlier, my friend Danielle Young, and I'm saying Danielle Young's name because Danielle and I had a long, courageous conversation for almost an hour before I went live. And Danielle's actually going to go on live with me tomorrow to tell her part of this story.
She did.
Danielle Young had several years earlier, she and I were talking and I had sent her a video of this man who I thought was funny. And she said, oh, girl, basically paraphrasing, he's a fuckboy. We went on a date. He ghosted me. He's a fuckboy. So because of what Danielle had told me, I had always kind of given this man the side eye. So when I realized that the man in the costume who I thought was sexy was the same fuckboy that Danielle had warned me about years earlier, I was like, oh, I haven't dated in a while. Maybe I'm just delirious. I think nothing of it. The very next day, I changed my flight to, it was supposed to be October 31st, but I moved it to November 1st. November 1st, the very next day, after I have the dream that says you're going to date this man next. And I'm saying, no, the fuck I'm not. I am on live, just scrolling through my phone. And for the first time ever, something pops up and it says, he's live. I had been following this man for years, never paid him attention. But suddenly, October 31st on Halloween, he pops up on my page. And on November 1st, he's now live. I was like, well, I'm curious. Because when you're psychic, you've learned to like listen to your hunches just to see how they pan out.
Yeah.
So I go on his live. And on the live, it's him and his male friend. And they're talking to women about dating and relationships. And I could tell the young Jamaican lady, by the way, this live is taped. I screen recorded it. So everything that I'm telling you guys, I've screen recorded, all of it.
Oh my God, I do have the screen recording. Shit. I couldn't figure out why, but my spirit guys kept on telling me to screen record it. I was like, why would I screen record a random nigga's live? This is why I should never question my spirit guys, child.
He likes a lot of people about what happened between us, but he doesn't know that I have everything screen recorded, including the day that we met.
Damn.
In the live, he's talking to this girl and his homeboy who's running the live. And while he's talking to this girl, I can tell the girl likes him and he's not interested in her. But he said something funny, so I comment. When he looks down at my comment, and women, we all know this, when a man sees your profile picture and he thinks you're cute, and so he leans in.
Yeah.
I comment and he leans over and sees my picture, and I literally see his brows go up with interest. I was like, oh, he thinks I'm cute. Okay. Trust me, I had not dated in a year, so I was just like, look, I'll take it. He thinks I'm cute. The girl and him are not flirting very well. His boy is trying to hook him up with the girl, but the girl is skinny. And this guy, I had just found out that same day that his whole brand is he likes big girls. So I was like, girl, you weigh 120 pounds. He's not checking for you. So they bring another girl up. The second girl they bring up, I find fascinating. And so I post in the comments, yo, she's funny. She makes me want to come up there. And he immediately says, oh, Blue wants to come up. I was like, whoa, hold on. In my mind, nigga, I have a flight in the morning. Like, what are you doing? I leave and go to the bathroom and come back. They're still live. I'm like, yo, they're still going? I was like, oh, y'all still going? He was like, yeah, you coming up? So he brings me up on the live. When I come up on the live, I immediately have banter with his homeboy. I think his homeboy is a Sagittarius.
He was.
Me and fire signs always have really interesting. I think he's a Sag. So we are having banter like, oh, you're a Sag. This is why you're like this. You know, I'm doing banter with the boy. And he's watching me playfully have banter with his friend. And he's like, oh, so you're not going to talk to me, though? I was like, oh, my bad, King, my bad. So we have this really interesting live. And we start to have these lively debates about dating and relationships. During the lively debate, he says to me, and this is prophetic, he was like, yo, you're the first woman who can make me listen. I usually can debate women and run circles around women with debates, but like you actually made me listen. And I could tell he was intrigued by this. I'm going to tell you this, guys.
By the way, and I hope I'm not repeating what I'm about to say. Every single man who's ever tried to fuck me was intrigued by my mind and then ended up being scared of it. There's something so exhausting knowing the part of you that attracts people is also the part of you that scares the shit out of them, and you can't do anything about it because it's a good part to keep. It'd be one thing if there was a toxic thing that I did that attracted men that also scared them away. I could fix it, right? But they're attracted to one of the best parts of me and then get mad when they realize that it's not fraudulent and it's not going anywhere. Oh, bon Dieu. Exhausting. Yuck.
I have had business lunches with billionaires. I have sat with billionaires. One of them was Kanye West. I have sat and broken bread with billionaires and millionaires.
Bitch, why we mentioned Kanye? I thought we were never going to mention Kanye. Wow, I must have been angry. Okay.
Titans of industry, presidential candidates, members of the Obama administration. I rode in the motorcade with Michelle Obama while sitting next to James Baldwin's niece.
Oh.
I have lived a very full Forrest Gump-like life where I am used to very powerful people who are moved by no one being moved by me. That is not a flex, it is a fact.
Oh.
So when I see this man saying, oh, you know, most women, I can run circles around them, but you actually make me listen and think. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. That's about my whatever. So we have a great conversation. The conversation ends. When the conversation's over, I sent him a quick DM saying, thank you for not being a fuckboy, because the way that he handled me in that conversation was very chivalrous. And even though I was pushing him and challenging him, you guys know I love to have rigorous debates. He took it like a champ, and I was impressed by that. I said, I'm really impressed with how you handled that. He starts following me. I'm already following him, right? So he starts following me. I'm like, well, that was a sexy little encounter.
It was sexy.
I think nothing of it. That night, I go to sleep thinking nothing of it. I get on the plane. When I land in LA, I'm doing my meditation. And during my meditation, something keeps telling me, you are going to meet this man. I was like, no, that was just a one-off. And then something else tells me, Blue, he's stalking your page. I was like, what? I had a premonition during my daily meditation. Girl, he is stalking your page.
Yeah, I immediately knew.
And I'm the kind of person where the word stalk doesn't pop up to me quickly, but it also doesn't scare me because a lot of people stalk my page. There are so many people in the world who have done me dirty, who I have disengaged from, who I know still check on me. You know why? Because when they get therapy and apologize, they always tell me, Blue, I stalk your page.
Yeah.
My homegirl Shiva, who I just reunited with last summer, told me, Blue, I stalk your page. I'm so happy that you and I reunited. I'm so used to people telling me that they stalk my page.
I love you, Shiva.
That it didn't scare me the way it should scare somebody else. I was like, he's not stalking my page. That was a one-off. He's not even thinking about me. So then a week goes by and I see a notice saying that he's gone live again. I'm like, oh, I wonder what he was up to. That last live, mind you, he's a brilliant man. I will say this to the day I die. This man is brilliant and ridiculously talented. We connected over talent. He thought I was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant. I see he's live again. I'm like, oh, I'm doing laundry now. Let's see what he's talking about. He's on the live with his female best friend, a female best friend who he's always had a flirty dynamic with from the videos that I've seen of them. And while they're on the live, she's talking about, again, I have this screen recorded.
I do.
I have this screen recorded.
I have the entire thing.
Everything I'm saying, I have screen recorded. He doesn't know this, but I have it all screen recorded, including the moment he asked me out on a date.
Ooh.
So I am watching him and his homegirl talk, and they're talking about softness and women and how women.
Imagine asking somebody on a date in front of 150 people and then pretending y'all never dated. Dummy.
Need to be less alpha and more soft. And at one point, his best friend says, oh my God, I have to work about not being so alpha and being so independent. Now, I'm an EQ coach, and you know that I have compassion for people when people are going through stuff. And so I write in the comments, And by the way, both Jesse and Danielle have seen this video. They're in the chat. My friends have seen this video. So I have people who know I'm telling the truth watching this video because this man threatened me a couple of hours ago. Like he doesn't know the fuck I...
Oh, I forgot I shared the video. Oh, I must have been pissed. Oh, I must have been pissed. Oh, damn. Watching this back is making me realize how angry I am because, guys, I don't share. Like, you know how mad Melissa had to make me for me to share that video of her that I shared with Jason Lee? I had to be pissed. I don't share videos on friends or old friends. I do share videos on enemies. You have to be my actual enemy. Like, you have to be a foe. Like something out of the fucking Bible before I even think about sharing anything. I have an old friend that I have not talked to in 5 years. And I've barely spoken about him a peep, good or bad, in those 5 years. We recently reconnected and I didn't have to walk nothing back because I didn't say shit, right? Like we stopped being friends, but he wasn't my enemy. For me to have shown it to Jesse and it, yeah, I was pissed. Oh, I also found out that he lied and accused me of a crime. That's why I showed it. Oh, yeah, because then the lawyer and me, if you lie on me, then I will pull out evidence. That makes sense. But we're going to get to that later about him lying and accusing me of a heinous crime that never fucking happened. I am. Sorry, let me calm down. So in the screen recording, you're going to see, because my friends have seen it, where I typed to his homegirl, oh no, honey, hyper independence is a gender neutral trauma response. That has nothing to do with you being a woman. All people are hyper independent as a trauma response. Mm-hmm. She sees my message and she says, oh, Bluecentric, are you a therapist? He hears my name like a fucking golden retriever and goes, Bluecentric. Oh, Bluecentric is the truth. She knows everything about everything. Oh my God. Her video, she's the truth. And I'm hearing, oh shit, he is stalking my page. My guides were right. He doesn't realize that was the moment where I knew that my guides were right, that he was stalking my page. Mm-hmm. Again, my guides had helped me save my mother's life. So I'm already in constant communication with them because one of the things my mother's doctors always told me, they were like, every time your mother's about to go to the emergency room, you always end up flying into town the day before. Mm. Now, how do you tell a doctor? That's because I have spirit guides telling me when to go to Boston. That's too scary, right? Mm. So I can't tell my fucking doctors at Mass General that the reason why I'm always in Boston when she goes to the emergency room is because I'm psychic. I'm just like, oh, it's just a coincidence. So finding out him saying, Bluecentric's amazing, she knows everything about everything, he didn't realize that was him confessing to me that he was stalking my page. So I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, you know Bluecentric? Now, here's the thing about female best friends. And she's going to catch some smoke, too, because she's a bit of a duplicitous character. Female best friends, even if they don't sexually want you, if you are the only nigger in their life, and mind you, this is a girl complaining that she can't pull a man. Oh, so I know you're the only nigger in her life. Oh, my God. Even if they don't want you, they're going to always be territorial when you show any kind of excitement around other women. Can we all admit that? Yes. Someone said Frozen. What's Frozen? Is the screen frozen, guys? Is the mic on? Can someone confirm? Because I know it's Mercury in retrograde. Is the screen frozen? Can y'all see me? Somebody say they can see me so I can continue. You guys, full sentences. Yes and no mean nothing to me. You are okay as a full sentence. Thank you, guys. Again, do you see that when I need something? Because of my autism, I'm not even thinking about being rude. I just immediately say what I need. You guys, I'm like this all the time. Yeah. My character is showing itself even during this live that I don't have it in me to be like, oh, I guess if I need a clear sentence, I'm going to ask for a clear sentence. This is how I communicate at all times. Shout out to the tism. So I'm like, I know how female friendships are because I had a male best friend of 24 years and I was very territorial with him until my spirit guides ripped him from my life. That's a whole other story time. So the female best friend is like, oh, you know Blue? He's like, yeah, Blue's amazing. And she was like, oh, should we have Blue come on a live with us? Because, by the way, y'all said I chose violence. This is the nice part. We haven't even gotten to the violence yet. This is, okay. Well, shit, if you think this is violence, you're in for a ride. Now she's trying to get involved because she's realizing it's a lie between them, but he's focusing on me. And he stops her and says, Blue, I don't normally do this, but you and I need to meet. We need to hang out. And so I write, oh, yeah, I'll be in New York next month. I would love to pull up with y'all. Y'all, pronouns matter. I'm thinking him and his homegirl think I'm cool. And they, the two of them, want to hang out with me because I'm cool. She wants me to come on their live. I'm down, right? So I'm saying, yeah, sure. In my mind, hold on. Let me make sure I wipe this because the screen feels a little bit. Oh, finally. Thank you.
There we go.
Oh, I look so
So
much
in
better.
my mind, I'm going to go to New York and see y'all. I text him. I was like, hey, not text him. I DM him. I'm like, hey, I'm actually going to be in New York for real because I'm going to go visit Bridget and do some content with her because we have a thing that we're doing together. But like, you know, if you're really in New York, I would love to hang out with y'all. Think nothing of it. Fast forward, 2 weeks go by and this fitness bro slides into my DMs. You guys know I'm always talking about this. Personal trainers love big bitches. I don't know what this is about.
They do.
I start talking to a personal trainer who was very popular.
He's fine as hell.
Over 1 million followers. This nigga, here's the thing that's so interesting. This man thinks he can bully me because he has 300,000 followers, not knowing that the man that I talked before him has 1 million followers and it's not broke.
Oh.
Like the men that I usually date are his wildest dream. So the fact that he's flexing his follower count, not knowing that I have fried bigger fish, is laughable to me.
Oh my God.
So I start talking to this fitness influencer who is like asking me questions and like, yo, X, Y, and Z. You know what happens when a fitness influencer is trying to bag you. And me and the fitness influencer, we start like lightly talking for about 6 weeks. It just so happens to be the 6 weeks between when this man says, I want to see you when you come to New York, and when I actually make it to New York. So I'm being completely distracted by this fine fitness influencer. I and this fitness influencer fall out right before I go to New York because he flew to LA to do content and didn't tell me until day 3.
Damn.
And Kendall, my friend Mike, all my friends can tell you. I remember telling my friends, yo, this nigga is fine, but I know what it means when a man comes into your city and doesn't hit you up until day 3.
A day 3 bitch.
I don't want to be a day 3 type bitch. That means there was a girl who knew you were coming before you even got here. There's a girl you saw on day 1. There's a girl you saw on day 2, and I'm day 3. I do not want to be no man's day 3, right? So me and the fitness influencer, he's so fine though. Oh, sorry, I just got a little shiver. Me and the fitness influencer fall out right before I come to New York. Mind you, that fitness influencer was the first guy that I dated after a year of being celibate. So I'm just like, nigga, I'm a little horny though. It's too bad you fumbled this because we could have, you know what I'm saying? Like you could have done some heavy lifts, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So I'm a little horny. I'm not even gonna hold you. So now I go to New York and I'm hanging out with Bridget. I'm like, yo, Bridget, Mike has a friend who lives down the street from you. I want to make sure that you and Mike meet each other because I love when my friends meet each other. Let's go have a drink at Mike's house. So I'm posting on my stories that I'm in New York. I'm posting pictures of me and Mike and Bridget at this nice little apartment doing a toast, X, Y, and Z. Mr. Man, I'm gonna call him Icky instead of saying his name, Icky.
Yeah.
Icky texts me and is like, where you at? I was like, I'm in New York or something like that.
For those who don't know, Icky is Ike Slimster. I couldn't say it this time last year. I don't give a fuck this year. So that's who it is.
That he's like, so you in New York, you didn't think to tell me? The last time we spoke, you were on live with your homegirl. And I was saying, I'm down to meet with y'all. Y'all. Y-A-L-L. Y'all. But Icky is texting me like, oh, like, how you come to New York and not tell me you in my city? I was like, oh, this is a little sexy. Okay. I was like, well, I'm free tomorrow. What's up? You guys, I'm going to tell the story without making myself look good or bad.
That's true. Whenever I tell a story, the intention is not to make myself look good or bad. It's to make sure that there's clarity and that if people who I trust are listening, they can point out any blind spots. Mel and Bridget will tell you. Mike will tell you. All my friends will tell you. I will tell a very blunt story where nobody looks good. We're all just flawed fucking humans fighting for our lives. And then I'll be like, so did I miss anything? Am I tripping? Do you see the other side? And they'd be like, no, bitch, not only did you not miss anything, my God, today, that was a lot more graphic than we probably needed to know. So I'm never telling stories to play some fucking victim or hero. I just want to get my facts straight. And I have to be honest, that is probably one of my favorite things about being a level 1 autistic, because I can tell you niggas are doing something else. When people are telling stories, I can tell they need to be the hero. And I'm like, okay, but what actually happened though? Right? So yeah, this is one of the side effects of autism that I don't ever want to be cured from, because there's an integrity inherent in it that I really fucking enjoy.
So there's going to be certain parts of the story you're going to think I'm a hoe. You're going to think I'm rude. I don't care. I don't want you to see me as good or bad. I want you to see me accurately. I care more about accuracy than narratives. That's one of the big differences between me and him.
Not me echoing myself. Okay, let me shut the fuck up. I didn't realize how consistent I am. All right, go off, sis. My bad.
He weaves narratives. I have accuracy and receipts and corroborating witnesses behind my back. So I'm like, yo, what's up? So then I think to myself, the last time I spoke to Danielle told me, in paraphrasing, this was an ain't shit kind of nigga, right? And I've seen baddies try to approach me before and sidestep them. In fact, me and Danielle had an incident with the baddie previously that had been weird, And so I already knew from talking to her, fine niggas when they're around big bitches with self-esteem act funny.
They do.
Be careful. So I was like, I'm not going to plan shit. If this man really wants to see me, he's going to have to plan everything. I am giving him no energy. I was Shelly. When I say that I relate to Shelly, it's because I am Shelly. He's a Leo, by the way. So I'm Shelly, a pansexual Haitian, dealing with a Leo who is cute and fine and knows he's cute and fine and is popular on social media. Right? So I'm like, yeah, nigga, I'm not going to chase you. You got 300,000 followers and you over 6 feet and you chocolate and you dress nice. You probably smell nice. I'm not doing shit. I was like, all right, well, if you want to see me, tell me where to pull up.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing. He hits me up within a few hours. Meet me at this restaurant, at this place, at this time. I said, nice. Okay, look at you being a grown man. I go to a restaurant in Brooklyn, a part of Brooklyn I had never been to in my life. It's like a Jewish lunch spot. And I grew up with my mother working at the Star David Jewish Nursing Home. So I grew up around a lot of old Jewish ladies growing up, and I have a really strong fondness for the Jewish community. So I was like, oh, this is so cute. This reminds me of my childhood or whatever. I get to the restaurant 10 minutes early. He's not there. The time comes. He's not there. I text him, where you at? He's like, I'm on the train. First of all, why am I texting you where you at the time that you should have been here? You knew you were going to be late 10, 15, 20 minutes ago. Why didn't you like tell me ahead of time that you were going to be late? First red flag in my mind. This nigga shows up to our first meeting 20 minutes late, sits down and doesn't even apologize. I'm like, okay. But here's the thing. Before I can have a red flag, the minute he looks at me, and I will be honest, his entire face lit up.
It did.
You know the way that women want men's eyes to light up when they're getting married? I'm not even being hyperbolic. I swear on my mother's life. This man lit up. And
I might look for some pictures, because at the time of this live, I was trying to not say his name because I was so disgusted, but it's been a while. I'm healed. I might look up some pictures just to enhance the retelling.
To be honest, I was a little strategic. I intentionally sat in a seat where the sun was cascading on me. That was me doing it on purpose. Bitch, I know my angles. So I'm sitting at my perfect angle and the sun is cascading on me. So and I'm sitting in the middle of the restaurant. It's a small bistro. So there's a whole bench. I'm in the middle of the bench with the sun cascading, fresh twist in my hair. I know I looked cute that day. My titties were sitting. Okay. Yep. If you want to know what shirt I was wearing, you know the situationship video where I'm wearing the purple V-neck? It was that V-neck. I actually think I subconsciously wore the V-neck for my first date on the situationship video because I think he inspired it more than I wanted to admit to myself. So I'm wearing the V-neck from the situationship video. Go on TikTok, 2.4 million likes. You can't miss it. It's pinned. And so my titties are sitting. My hair is fresh, and y'all see my skin. This is me sweaty in a dashiki, and this is what my skin looks like. So imagine if I actually put in effort.
You're right. I'll save the pictures for the members only area. Good catch.
So I'm fucking glowing. He walks in, and the first thing he says is, "You're glowing." I was like, "Hi." You see how I'm smiling? Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I have the ability to hold on to beautiful memories, even when someone reveals themselves to be an ugly person. So I'm going to smile during good parts. I'm going to frown during bad parts. I am still taking my good memories with me. I don't give a fuck how much of a revisionist historian he is. Everything good that happened with us, I get to keep, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there just talking, and he's just staring at me. He's like, "You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And here's the thing, guys. I'm confrontational. I'm compassionate and confrontational. So before he can get a word out past pleasantries, I say, "So check it. Are you fucking your best friend?" And he's like, "What?" I said, "That girl who's on the live with us, who seems very territorial about you. Have you and her ever messed around?" He's like, "No, not only have we not messed around, not too long ago, she hooked me up with a baddie. She hooked me up with this girl who was absolutely fucking gorgeous." And I'm like, "Why are you talking about other bitches while we're on a first date?" But okay.
Yeah, talking about how fine other women are on a first date is a lot. It's a lot. And it feels like, and I've always felt this, men who intentionally center other women when they like you, or who talk about how much other women want you when they like you, are insecure, because they need you to see that they're desirable to other women because they don't trust that they're desirable to you themselves. It's a sign of deep insecurity. I was recently curious about a guy who kept doing it, and it turned me the fuck off because of this story. This story is why I know that
I can't be with a guy who immediately wants to talk about what kind of women want him or who's bad. Also, for the person who said that Icky did a video recently making fun of neurodivergence, Icky is neurodivergent. So the nigga hates himself. Nothing has changed. Okay. He's like, she hooked me up with this baddie, and me and this girl, we were all over each other. She was very sexually aggressive. And he's looking at me when he says it like, she was very sexually aggressive. But I was like, oh, really? So what happened with you and this baddie? Because already I'm like, nigga, why are you centering other bitches on our first date? And he's like, yeah, well, what happened was she invited me to her house. And when we were at her house, I was in her office or something, and I went through some of her files and found out that the house was in her ex-husband's name. And that just felt too messy for me. Your best friend set you up on a date with a woman who was gorgeous and very sexually open. And she invites you to her home for sexy time. And you somehow end up going through her files and finding out that her house is in her husband's name?
Boy. Crazy.
I'm like, Blue, this is a red flag. But this, like, at the moment, again, guys, I was horny. I was like, the worst that can come of this is I could get my back blown out and we never have to speak again.
Oh my God.
So I was like, oh, that's wild. And I'm thinking, well, if you want to share stories, I got a story I want to share. What's going on with you and Danielle?
Oh, Blue.
Like, excuse me? I'm like, yo, when Danielle first moved to LA, she told me after I sent her one of your little funny videos.
Okay, so I think I'm starting to, my friend Carlos, shout out to Carlos Campbell, not Carlos King, my other friend Carlos, Fit Buddha. When Carlos was on my podcast, we had a promo clip where he was like, Blue, you wow. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm a daffodil. He's like, Blue, you are wild. I said, bet. Nigga, you want to talk about bad bitches? What about the bitch that I know? Did you fuck? What happened with Danielle? Are you fucking your best friend? Since you want to bring other bitches, I got a list. Okay. Look, man. Can we all just admit, at least I'm consistent. I don't like no funny shit, y'all. I don't have it in me. I don't like no funny shit. I don't. If you are good to me, I'm going to be even better to you. If you want to be funny, I'm going to be fucking hilarious, okay? A fucking gut buster in this bitch. I follow leads. I'm not even an alpha. But I'm like, oh, if you want to desecrate the sanctity of this date by bringing up third parties, well, nigga, I got fourth and fifth parties too. Look, man, I still stand behind this choice.
That you was on some fuck shit because y'all had a date, you were smile up in her face, and then like you disappeared on her and like acted funny. I did not want to date you or come here and have lunch with you. I had a lot of reservations because me and Danielle already have some weird history with another nigga that we both were circling around. I don't like funny shit. So I'm going to tell you right now, for the last 2 years, I have been giving you the side eye because of what Danielle told me about you being basically a time waster. Ooh. Danielle didn't call him a time waster. I did.
Yeah.
What she told me accumulates a nigga who wastes time. And he's like, oh God, she's so obsessed with me. She's doing it again. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, for the last several years, Danielle has been trying to stop me. Every time, the minute you told me that you were worried about me because you think I dated somebody that you knew, I immediately knew it was Danielle. You're not the first person this has happened with.
Yeah.
I was like, excuse me? I was like, so what's your version? Because her version was real simple. 1 + 1 = fuck nigga. Oh. And he's like, well, my friends are content creators and they wanted to get put on and be invited to events. And Danielle's a gatekeeper. She knows mad people. And so when they found out that Danielle liked me and they could tell that she liked me, they pimped me out and on a group chat begged me to take her out on a date so that they could get in good with her. I said, now, Icky.
That's fucked up.
I was concerned that you and your best friend were dating. But you were instead telling me that your best friend pimped you out to get access to content creator parties instead. He was like, yeah, you know, she's young. And I honestly feel like you're the kind of woman that could see being friends with her and like talking some sense into her. I was like, that's really fucked up. Why would they pimp you out for party access? That's really lame. And I'm also thinking like, and Danielle just wrote, what game am I keeping? I'm also thinking, people see me as a gatekeeper. And in this story, you're trying to make Danielle look pathetic, but I actually am like identifying with her.
Do you see how I'm telling this story while Danielle's in the chat? You see how I don't play that funny shit? I'm not talking about behind nobody's back. Again, I keep telling y'all, I'm the type of bitch, if I'm talking about you and you walk in, I'm going to finish my sentence. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, let's change the top. No, nigga, come here, sit down. You should probably hear this, right? So the beauty of this live is I'm telling this story while Danielle's in the chat watching the entire thing. And then the next day, I did a whole other live where I had Danielle come on to tell her side because I thought it was only fair. Y'all might not always like what I have to say, but I'm incredibly reasonable and incredibly fair. More fair than most.
I've had friends who I thought liked me and later found out that they were mad because I didn't invite them to Cardi B's birthday party. That's happened to me before.
It has.
So I'm just like, okay. So then what happened? He's like, yeah, we go on the date. And she told me that the date was only going to be an hour, and that she had something to go to, but she tricked me. She asked me what I was doing after the date. I told her I was going to go grab a bite. And so she told me she was coming with me and followed me to the next venue. So I was like, okay, so you went on a hour-long drink date with Danielle. She tricked you by asking you what you were getting into after it and then followed you to the next spot. Why didn't you just tell her you wanted to go alone? He's like, I felt bad. I didn't want to make it weird. I was like, okay, so what happened then? He's like, well, while we're sitting there, one of my boys come in and I'm embarrassed because they think we're on a date. And I'm like, nah, it's not like that. And then she was eating and she said, well, do you want me to get you something to eat? So then she bought me a meal. And I was like, she bought you. Okay, so you and Danielle followed you to dinner after y'all had drinks because she tricked you by asking what you were doing and you were embarrassed when your friend walked in on y'all. And she was eating and then she offered you to buy you some food as well.
Yeah, she was
because you couldn't have bought your own food. He's like, Blue, she was just offering it all up to me. He starts telling me some really nasty things about how she was throwing herself at him. And I'm listening and I was like, so basically, and then she wrote an article about me and people were sending me the article like, diss you, trying to make me look bad in the press. And I was like, oh, this is way messier than what I thought.
Yeah.
This is way, like, now I'm like, bitch, I just wanted to have a cute date with a tall boy. Like, what's happening right now? He's like, yeah, so that's why she told you that lie about us, X, Y, and Z. And I was like, okay, well, Icky, how long was this date?
Right.
Like 6 hours? Can we all pause for a second?
6 hours, nigga.
I leaned over to this nigga like, you want me to believe that you were held hostage on a date for 6 hours? You were having no fun?
No fun.
He was like, no, but I'm not even gonna hold you. When she was offering herself up to me sexually, I considered it. But I was like, nah, I can't do that.
I forgot this part.
I was like, okay. So in your story, you and Danielle went on a date.
He was being so graphic. He was like, she offered me all her holes. And I was like, I don't think I want to know this. But it also gave me a glimpse into a year later when he would lie on me. It gave me a glimpse into the way he lies, which is why I was so mad when he threatened me on this day and had to go live. I was like, oh, I already know the lies you told about Danielle. I can just imagine the shit you're saying about me.
That lasted 6 hours, but you didn't really mean it. And she tricked you into letting you let her pay for your meal. The check comes out. I stare at him and he pays for it. Because I need you to know, nigga, I'm not sure. Me and Danielle at the time had just met and we didn't really know each other and we were still being cautious around each other. I didn't know Danielle enough to vouch for her at the time. I had just met him. I don't know who's telling the truth. I just know I'm not paying for this fucking breakfast plate.
Oop.
So he pays for the meal.
He sure the fuck did.
I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to let you go. He's like, nah, I'm having such a good time. I don't want it to end. There's actually a coffee spot up the street. I love coffee. Let me take you out for some coffee. We walk to the coffee spot. While we're walking to the coffee spot, I said, how old are you, Icky? He says, 33. I said, oh, you're a baby. I'm much older than 33.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, he's like, no, I date older women. Oh, I forgot one detail, guys. When we were at the first spot, there was one point where I told him a story about the man that Danielle and I had in common, who she claims had lied on her. And I know for a fact that lied on me. And I was like, yo, I friend zoned this really attractive man in the industry. He tried to get me fired because I wouldn't fuck him.
Yeah, he did.
And then I still had to work with him. So I kept it cordial with him because I wanted to make sure that I had money to pay for my mother's medical bills. You guys don't understand. My mother was in the hospital this entire time. So this man trying to get me fired for not wanting to fuck, I couldn't shame the devil. I needed that job. That job was paying my mother's medical bills. And so I kept it cute with him. And it was an odd situation, but it made me realize that a lot of times when a really attractive man gets friend zoned by a big girl or dark-skinned girl, they tend to react very poorly to it.
Yes, 33 is a baby because I'm 112. Thanks for asking.
He says, oh, I know that nigga. He and I auditioned for the same job, but he got it instead of me. And you think he's finer than me? And I was like, no, you're both fine. You're both tall, chocolate, and fine. Like, what are you asking me? And then he was like, and I was like, and then I tell him another story about another man that he knows, another Nigerian, because you guys know I've dated a lot of Nigerian men. I tell him a story about this Nigerian guy I knew.
By the way, I do have a script that is in some development stages, so trust me. Trust me, we're working on it.
Who also, I rejected him. He had never been with a big girl before, and when I rejected him, he went and lied on me. I said, so I have a history of really tall, fine, attractive chocolate niggas acting a fool, and when I reject them, they lie on me. I don't want this to happen a third time. And so he looks at me, he says, well, you friend zoned them. Are you friend zoning me? And I looked at him, I was like, no, I am not friend zoning you. So guys, listen to this. Within an hour of meeting him, I cleared up, at least I thought I did, the Danielle situation. I asked him if he was fucking his best friend who was clearly being territorial about him. And when he asked me, are you friend zoning me? I said, no, this is not a friend zone. This is a date. Within the first hour, I had made sure that this man and I were on the same page in a very blunt way. At one point, he said, Blue, you know, we just met today. You're being very honest with me. He said that to me on the first date.
He did.
He's like, Blue, you're being very comfortable. Do you know this is our first date? He literally said that to me at the first venue. I was like, yeah, nigga, I need you to know what you're getting into. I don't do representatives. I'm too autistic for that. And I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm also autistic. And I'm a witch. He's like, okay, Blue, let's go to the next spot. He's like, so let me get this straight. You know, Danielle, you've turned down men that I consider my competition who are just as fine as me. You've confirmed that you're not friend zoning me, but now you're telling me that you're an autistic witch. We need to go to the next venue. Now, do you see how I'm humanizing this man? I'm letting you know why it made sense that this man was like, bitch, you are entertaining. We need to go to the next spot. Estelle will tell you. Tidra will tell you. Jessie, when we hang out in Atlanta, she'll be able to tell you. Danielle will tell you. If you hang out with me, it's like hanging out with a sex-positive plus-size Black Forrest Gump. A bitch has story for days, and like Forrest Gump, I have pictures to prove it. Right? I'm a very... What does Tidra always say? She said, you're a fascinating person. Tidra's always like, Blue, you're so fascinating. So I knew that even if we were just friends, he was going to have a good time just hearing my stories. So we go to the second spot. As we're walking there, I'm like, you're 33. You're a fucking baby. I said, do you know how old I am? He said, don't worry about it. I date older women. I said, well, how old do you date? He's like, I was like, what's your type? He said, my type is 43-year-olds. Guys, guess who was exactly 43 on December 30th, 2023 when we had our first date?
Yeah.
Our first date was on December 30th, 2023 at 12 p.m. in Brooklyn.
Damn, bitch.
This is the problem with dating or lying on an autistic person who has an IQ over 150, who remembers everything to the point of being obnoxious.
Not the timestamp and the IQ. Okay, I was angry. I do have the timestamp though. I have the timestamp because he was late. We were supposed to meet at noon. He didn't show up till about 12:18. So I actually do have the
You just lied to a genius human computer, you dumb asshole.
Oh my God.
I can tell you the exact date that we dated, the first date. So it's now 3 p.m. on December 30th, 2023.
More times.
Okay, stop fucking playing with me, icky. Oh. So we get to the second spot, and I'm like, wait, your type is 43-year-olds, and 43 just happens to be my exact age? Am I the only person who thinks 43 is a very specific number?
It is very specific.
Yes, I'm 43 for everybody who's freaking out.
Oh yeah, they were freaking out. No, I'm actually.
Now, one of my spirit guys told me before, guys, they said, Blue, he is stalking your page, which means he looked me up, including my date of birth.
Yeah.
I said, wait, you date 43-year-old women? He's like, yeah. Lie. I will literally tell you how that was a lie. And I was like, oh, wow, that's very specific, Icky. That's very specific. Not 40, not 45, not even 42. 43 is very specific.
It's very specific.
I'm like, this nigga has been stalking my page. And so now this is where my Gemini rising comes in because I'm playful. When I find out somebody thinks that they have one up on me. He doesn't, mind you, this is the first 90 minutes of us meeting, and my spirit guides are already telling me about him.
Immediately.
So I'm like, hey, so here's the thing. I'm a witch. And so I just need you to know, like, you shouldn't lie to me because I be knowing stuff. He was like, I've dated mad witches. I was like, oh, no. Not Instagram witches. Not Wiccans. Not kitchen hoodoo priestess. I'm a witch by lineage.
You see how even here, I've warned everybody, like, hey, keep it cute because I'm heavily protected today. So you don't want to accidentally piss off my guides. Not only do I not weaponize whatever my gift or lineage is, I make sure that people are empowered to keep themselves safe. I'm not a sinister, like in the shadows type of witch. I'm always like, hey, you might want to move around. I'm a different kind of bitch, right? And I think that's why I'm always stunned that people still play with me, because it never had to be like this. You were forewarned more than average. You were given a heads up. You were told, okay, fine, you might think I'm a pathological liar or I'm crazy, but did it not occur to you that if I've lasted in the industry this long, an industry that is built on gotchas, where if anybody has any dirt on you, the first thing they do is publish it? Has nobody wondered why nobody's been able to cancel me? Could it be I'm just telling the fucking truth? These are the things people need to think about when they assume someone's a fraud. You don't get to be in the fucking industry for 20 plus years as a fraud without somebody calling you out, especially when you talk big shit like I do. Poor baby. I almost feel bad for this nigga, but I don't. I am Buddhist as religion. My religion is Buddhism. I am a Buddhist, guys. I watched What's Love Got to Do with It with Tina Turner and decided that Buddhism could help Tina get away from Ike. It can help me with my childhood trauma. I've been a Buddhist since 2012. Yeah.
I'm a witch by lineage. My religion is Buddhism. And my Buddhism is the reason why so many people feel comfortable lying on me, because a lot of...
I started practicing in 2012, but I got officially... I don't even know what the ceremony is called, but they had a little ceremony in 2013. So just want to clarify, I started practicing in 2012, but I became official in 2013 because dates matter.
Times where I could scorch the earth and choose violence, I instead tend to choose to pray and know that my character will speak for itself. Buddhists believe in taking the long route. Okay. Danielle just said specific enough that feels like he wanted you to know he stalked you. Exactly, Danielle, you're right. So I'm like, okay, interesting. So we get to the spot and I'm like, yo, this man knows all my business. So now it's not even a date where we're talking as if you're learning about me. Nigga, you know me. Mm-hmm. I'm very transparent on social media. If you stalk me long enough, you're going to know a shit ton about me, right? How many times have people hit me? I'm like, Blue, I saw the number 22. I know that's your angel number. People know my angel number.
Yeah.
I have a thing that I do where I'm transparent about the things that I don't care about or that I feel comfortable with, so that you guys don't realize how private I actually am behind the scenes, right? It's something that a lot of people do. Be transparent about the things that are low stakes so that the things that are high stakes, people can mind their business. So we get to the second spot, and I've just finished telling him that I'm psychic and autistic. When we get to the restaurant, there's a Russian lady at the door. And the Russian lady says to me, would you guys want the bar or do you want a table? I was like, I want a table. I said, hold on. It's late now. Like the first spot was a coffee spot. Oh, you guys, pause. I'm jumping ahead. We didn't go to 2 restaurants that day. We went to 3 restaurants.
We did.
The first restaurant was the Jewish deli. I keep forgetting this is the second part. The second restaurant was a coffee shop. I almost jumped to the Russian lady at the deli. That's the third story. At the coffee shop, when we get there, he and I are joking because on our first stop, there was a baby sitting next to me who was staring at my titties for the entire time that I was on the date with him, to the point where the baby's mother had said, I don't know why she keeps staring at you like that. She must be hungry.
The baby,
mind you, I'm wearing my titties up bra, right? So he's like, yeah, me and that baby, because he's a titty man. We go to the second restaurant and we're laughing about the baby who was obsessed with my titties. I sit down and say, get me a matcha. And I sit down because I need you to know that I'm a matcha nigga, and you're going to pay for it, right? So I sit and say, hey, yo, Icky, get me a matcha. And I sit down and I start taping my hands. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, Blue, like, are you really on a date with the guy who Danielle said was a fuck nigga? Like, do we believe him or do we believe Danielle? I'm literally having this thought on this date. And then I was like, yo, I keep having baby dreams and that baby was staring at me. This is so fucking weird. That was weird. As I'm thinking about the baby, a toddler runs past me.
You guys, this is literally, I just need you to understand. Like, I'm so used to having receipts. As I'm talking about the matcha date, I literally, let me show you real quick. This is his hands making his coffee on the matcha date. When I tell you a bitch be having receipts, I can casually pull up the date while I'm watching myself talk about it. He likes mad sugar. And this was the coffee he got. So this is why I'm like, why y'all be lying on me? Have we not met? Have we not met? I'm just saying. All right, how do I make myself small again? Hold on. I always forget the button to make myself small again. Let me make myself big and then remove and add. There we go. Back to me being small again because the story is the star. I just work here. The second toddler runs past me. Then the third toddler runs past me. I'm like, why are there so many fucking babies on this fucking date? He comes over with the matcha. Third toddler runs past. We finally look over. There's a 1-year-old's birthday party happening right next to us at the coffee shop. I'm not the FBI, but I was an investigative journalist for almost 10 years and worked in DC and in politics and had private clients. So you're joking about the FBI, but my nickname was Olivia Nope. Not Olivia Pope, Olivia Nope, because my job was to steer people away from doing shit that would get them canceled. And I was like, oh, bitch, you can't fuck him. You're going to get pregnant. My spirit guides are funny, by the way, guys. I was like, oh, man, I can't fuck this man. My titties are out. Babies keep staring at me. We're at a 1-year-old's birthday party at our second fucking venue. I cannot fuck this man.
I was feeling fertile.
So we're either going to be friends or we're going to date. We're sleeping with him. Feels like something that makes sense. But the casual sex that I was thinking about because I was horny can't happen. Too many fucking babies. He sits down. And up until now, I haven't really taped much. He sits down. And there's a video on my phone. So he can't lie.
It's the video.
And I say, Icky, how does it feel finally meeting me in person after you work so hard to like get me to show up? I was trolling this nigga, right? Like, I need you to know, I don't know what story you're telling about other bitches, but I need you to know that you came looking for me. And I have it on video. He takes off his beanie and he's blushing. He's like, I knew that how I thought you would be in real life is how you would turn out. And he's like smiling. Beautiful teeth that his bestie bought him on the brand trip.
Oh.
So him and his fresh veneers, he's smiling like, yeah, you know, I'm just so happy that you're exactly who I thought you would be. And I was like, yeah, I'm consistent. I was like, from what the stories you told me about you going through the lady's stuff and the other date, you have clearly been through some trauma. And I've seen your content. Your content comes off a little bitter and cynical.
It does.
I need you to know that's all wasted on me. Whatever bitter, cynical energy you have is wasted on me. I am exactly who I say I am. Number one, because I'm autistic, so I just can't lie. Like, it's hard for me. It's really, really hard for me, right? And because my impulse control be fucking with me sometimes. And number two, just because I'm an emotional intelligence coach. I would be a fraud. If my clients could find tea on me being a horrible person, my entire business would go out of business. I actually have to be a good person to pay my rent. It's true. So I need you to know that weird trauma that you were telling me about at the first spot, let's leave it behind because I'm actually a regular good person. We have our first date. We're talking. I'm drinking the matcha that he paid for because we were on a date. And I'm like, yo, this was so fun. It's getting late. Now it's like the coffee shop comes over to me. The owner comes over and says, hey, we're actually about to close. I didn't realize it. All the babies and their parents had left. All the patrons have left.
Yeah.
We shut down the second spot. I was like, oh, wow. It's already been 6 hours. I'm like, well, I already know this nigga allegedly did 6 hours with Danielle and didn't even like her. So I'm not going to let this go to my head. So this was fun. It was nice flirting with you. I feel warm and fuzzy on the inside because here's the thing. He is such a sweet, attractive, smart man that it hurts me that he has devolved into threatening me on social media. Because one of the reasons why I had not told this story publicly before is because the part of me that connected with him on that first day, I still have a tenderness and a fondness for him. And I had hoped that at some point in life, he would get therapy and we could at least be friends again. Yeah. But when you threaten me, fuck you, nigga.
Oh.
So I'm like, all right, well, thank you for the date. This was fun. And he's like, no. I don't want the date to end. I'm like, we met at noon. Whoa, I got there at noon. You got there at 12:20 because you can't re-fucking time. But we've been on this date for 6+ hours now. The coffee shop is shutting down. He's like, no, I know another spot. I was like, nigga, how many spots do you know in Brooklyn? You are a man about town. So he takes me to the third spot. This is where we run into the Russian lady at the front door. The Russian lady at the front door, I said to her, before we get started, what time do y'all close? Because apparently this man does not want to let me go Yeah.
I'm actually having a great time, so I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm not having a good time. But I need to know when this place closed down, right? Because I didn't enjoy getting put out of the second spot. She's like, 2. That's my poor rendition of a Russian accent. I said, 2 a.m. p.m. 2 p.m. I said, wait a minute, it's 6 p.m. now. If you shut down at 2 p.m., then how are you open at 6 p.m.? She said 2. I said, yes, 2 a.m. p.m. She and I do this for about 30 seconds. And he's like, oh shit, you are autistic. Guys, this is how autism works. If you tell me 2 p.m., but it's 6 p.m., my brain is like, bitch, what are you talking about? He's like, Blue, her English is bad. I think she means 2 a.m. I was like, oh, that wasn't clear. Thank you. I told you I was autistic. He was like, yeah, you are. So that was the exact moment he realized that my autism was not for show. Because me and this bitch would have been like, you know that Diddy meme of Diddy staring at the man staring at him? Me and this bitch would have been going two at each other for a half an hour. She don't speak English and I can't read nonverbal social cues. So I was like, damn, he just saw me have autism. Well, at least he knows I wasn't faking it. We sit down and I'm like, hey, I have something to tell you. Before we went on this little date, you guys, I'm calling it a date the entire time. I had prayed about like what it was that you might need in life. Because I have this thing that whenever I meet somebody that I really enjoy, I ask God, how can I be of service to them? Like, what value can I bring to their life? And I kept on getting downloads that you were coming from a space of lack and you needed abundance. I just had a witch that I met in Long Beach send me a gift of this beautiful citrine that I have been coveting for a while but couldn't afford. She sent it to me as a free gift. Because, you know, I know a lot of witches, we keep in contact with each other. This citrine had just literally landed the day before I left for New York. I was like, because I prayed on you needing abundance and citrine is the stone of abundance, I'm going to give it to you. He's like, what? I was like, I got you a gift. And I pulled out this beautiful citrine rock.
So beautiful. Oh.
That I had wanted for almost a year, that had just been sent to me. But when I prayed on what he needed, I felt like he needed it more than I did. And I gave him the citrine. And I was like, please, like, this is a really, really special. It's been blessed. It's very charged. If you want to have money in abundance, I highly recommend that you keep this someplace sacred. You know what this man says to me? He's like, oh, I've dated a bunch of witches. They're always giving me rocks and stuff. I said, but Icky, I'm not a... No.
So insulting.
Because in my mind, if you stalked me, how did you miss the part where I'm a psychic person who has 400 plus clients a year internationally who come to me? For those who are wondering, Squared is a thing where they tell you how many client sessions you do a year. In 2025, I had 450 tarot clients.
It's higher
450 sessions.
It's much higher now.
70% of them were international. There are rich people in Dubai who call me once every quarter for me to go over their books with them psychically. Mm-hmm. So, nigga, if you stalked me, how did you miss the part where I have a gift? Well, no, you know, everybody wants to be a witch. I'm like, no. Okay, now I'm getting offended, nigga. Like, I'm not an Instagram witch. I'm a real one. I was like, okay, well, can you not center her? I just gave you a gift and you're centering another woman. Why do you keep centering other women on this date?
Yeah, I hate that.
You guys have later find out he has intimacy issues. When men have intimacy issues and you're having an intimate interaction with them, they have to distract. So I'm picking up, okay, I gave him this gift, and rather than saying thank you, he's giving me nervous energy and talking about other women.
I wish I had taken the crystal back. I do wish. I don't use the word regret often, but a part of me is like, damn, I really wish I had kept that for myself. And I'm now more intentional about, just because my spirit guides tell me what someone needs and I have it doesn't mean I'm supposed to give it. So I'm still generous. I have a lot more discernment about that generosity.
I grab his hand and I say, Icky, look into my eyes. And he stopped stalking. He looked into my eyes. And I was like, my love language is physical touch. As somebody with anxiety, I have learned the hard way how transformative healing touch can be. Just hold my hand for a second. No jokes, because you love to tell jokes. Hold my hand for a second. Let's have a real moment. Mm-hmm. I like you. Do you like me? And he was like, yeah, I like you. I was like, I feel like we have great chemistry. If you don't agree, tell me. Do you think we have great chemistry? He was like, yeah, we have great chemistry. And I pull my hand away. And he yanks it back like as if I was taking my hand away from him too soon. I was like, oh, shit. Now I'm like, Blue, you were holding hands with this man, having a tender moment. You pulled your hand away and he tugged it as if he didn't want to let go. Damn, bitch. Your tism, you had another tism. You didn't read the room. He wanted to keep holding hands with you. It's like, fuck. I missed the social cue. It's all right. I'll make it up later. 9:15, our date finally ends, exactly 9 hours after it began.
More
He
time
walked into the restaurant at 12:18. We walked out of the last restaurant at 9:15. I said, I'm about to call an Uber back to Bridget's house because I was staying with Bridget. I was like, you need a ride so we can keep talking? I'm thinking, I'm just giving you a ride so we can keep talking. I'm not thinking I'm giving you a ride because you're broke. We get into the Uber, we're talking, and as we're talking, he reaches over and he grabs my hand again. And this time I don't pull away. So we're holding hands and we're talking, and he's like, yo, my female friends are such a mess. There's a lot of mess happening with us right now, and I think we're falling out. He starts telling me that the female best friend, his other female friends, he starts telling me a bunch, I'm not going to share their business, a bunch of tea about how him and his female friends and how toxic they are.
Do you guys see how this is why I always say that marriage is not a meritocracy? I am more masterful at romantic interactions than most people I know who are in long-term relationships and or married. So I'm very aware that me not being married is not because of a lack of merit on my part. It's because of a lack of psychological safety and reciprocity on the parts of the men that I date. And I'm not calling that out to like stroke my ego. I'm calling it out because I think a lot of times when people are securely attached, they're very self-actualized, they're in a space of mastery, they're doing well in their careers, they are good members of the society and of the community, they're living in their purpose, they're checking off all the boxes within themselves. A lot of times we tend to think, if I did all that dope shit, but I'm not in a relationship and or married, that must mean something is wrong with me. Meanwhile, there are people who are struggling to even get half of what you got who are married and coupled. It is not a meritocracy, right? There's a little bit of luck. There's a little bit of standards, shared values, what you want, what you choose. You know what I mean? There are so many extenuating circumstances between being single and being coupled. And so it's not lost on me that if marriage was a meritocracy, I would have been married a long time ago. So for those of you who are like, oh my God, Blue, that was such a vulnerable moment. Not everybody who's single lacks vulnerability. Not everybody who's single has intimacy issues. Not everybody who's single doesn't know how to talk or be vulnerable. I've had so many female friends give me these unnecessary pep talks about shit that I mastered a long time ago because they're assuming if I'm single, I must not know how to do what they do. Baby, that's not how that works, right? Someone single right now needs to hear this, and someone married and or in a relationship right now gets to hear this. It takes two. And if you're doing your part and you have yet to meet people who are ready to do their part, you'll end up single even if you are the most securely attached popping bitch in the room, right? Please stop thinking that your relationship status, be it positive, negative, or neutral, is a reflection of your value as a person. That is a fallacy. Marriage is not a meritocracy, right? Having a partner is a wonderful privilege to meet parts of yourself that you could not meet alone. And however, if you haven't found someone who makes you feel safe enough to do that dance with, that doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It means you're not waiting to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm, right? I could have been in a relationship with a lot of people had I just decided to eat shit and make do. But guess what? The women who do that come to me as clients. So I kind of know too much. If I didn't do the work I did, if I didn't hear the confessions of those who have been chosen, I think maybe I would have been married. But because I know that the foundation you build a relationship on dictates everything after it, I am direct with men on first dates, second dates, third, fourth, and fifth dates, because I want us to be on the real same page. Don't pretend we're on the same page. I want us to actually be on the same page. And here's another thing too. When you are courageous, and I'm going to use the word courageous because it's accurate, right? When you are courageous in love, people who move more cowardly will always be concerned. Pause. When you are courageous in love, people who are cowardly, more cowardly than you, will always be concerned because they can't conceive that you can actually afford to take risks that they can't. That is why I'm so intentional about how much I share. Not because I'm some, oh my God, I'm so sensitive, but because I know you about to tell me a lot of shit that ain't got nothing to do with me. Discernment, guys.
Being private when you are securely attached isn't because you don't love or trust people. It's because you recognize who's able and who isn't. And respectfully, most people are not able. Most people can't remove themselves to give you advice. Most people will give you advice and just tell on themselves, and you're nowhere to be seen in what they're saying. It takes a very self-actualized person to give advice to other people that's not about them. Sorry, I just had to stop and say that. Let's continue.
And I'm thinking, well, they pimped you out to Danielle. They must be toxic. And how he wishes that they could meet a woman like me who could help them out. And I say, yo, that's nice and everything. But can we stop centering other women? Let's talk about us. You guys, you see how transparent I'm being, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing about the way that I acted said, oh, I'm your homegirl. I very much from the first hour said, you have not been friend zoned. I don't want to talk about your gossip about your homegirls and keep with you like you're one of the good Judys, because he's one of those men who knows how to be one of the girls, but doesn't know how to have intimacy with women. I was like, that thing that you do with your homegirls, this is a date. So am I going to see you again, or is this a one-off? He's like, no, you're going to definitely see me again.
Do you see how many times I'm clarifying that he's not friend zoned? I have romantic interests. I like you. Do you like me? This is a date. Stop centering other bitches. The fact that he would later feign confusion as if we had never dated, I'm still gobsmacked by that.
And as we drive past this restaurant, he's like, yo, that's another good spot I could see myself taking you to. I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. Next time I come, let's go. He said, hold up. I said, what? He said, not too much. I said, what do you mean? He's like, a lot of times when I'm dating women, they get ahead of themselves. I was like, oh, okay. Nigga, you just took me to 3 restaurants on our first date. You just took me to 3 restaurants on our first date.
9 hours.
We're 9 hours in a black car taking you to your house so that we could have more time to talk. Nowhere in my mind did it seem inappropriate for me to mention the next restaurant I want us to go to. I thought that's become our thing now. What the fuck? I was like,
3 restaurants in.
And I shit you not, I heard as loud as day, Blue, his ego will be the death of you.
Oof.
Like a thunderclap. It sent a shiver down my spine.
It did.
And I was like, fuck, I just wanted some dick. I've been celibate for a year. The fucking influencer fitness guy made it so I couldn't have fun. This nigga and I have great chemistry. Like, why the fuck? Okay, his ego would be the death of us. Got it. Let's see if I can have some fun despite his ego. So we're talking. And I was like, no, I have to be honest. Remember inside when I was talking about how we have, and now we're holding hands again. Remember when we're talking about how we had great chemistry? It's just been a long time since I had good chemistry with somebody. So if I'm coming off too enthusiastic, completely apologize. Because here's the thing. I'm always open to feedback. If you're thinking I'm getting too hype, again, tism. Because of my condition, I am always open to feedback that I didn't read a nonverbal social cue. And he was like, no, I get it. I have a good chemistry with a lot of people. Nigga, I just told you we had good chemistry and you agreed. Now you mentioned the other bitches again. He's like, yeah, in fact, at an influencer event, me and somebody who is signed by the same agency and we had great chemistry. And for a second, we were like, shouldn't we? Because our agency would love it if we dated because couples content does really good. But I was like, nah, let me not go there. Now pause. 3 weeks before I met this man, we're both friends following each other. When I knew he was stalking me, I wasn't stalking him, but I knew he was stalking me. I went through his stories and I saw him post a video of him, my friend Joya Fudu, a third girl at this backstage influencer thing.
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember when I saw the video of them 3, I said, Joy doesn't like him, but that girl, even though she's not his type and she's skinny, she likes him.
Yep.
Immediately, my spirit guides told me she likes him, but she's not his type because she's like a size 2, size 4. And so when he said, yeah, I recently met somebody at an influencer thing and we had great chemistry, her face immediately popped up in my head. And I was like, fuck. There's something about this nigga that every time he talks to me, my nosy ass spirit guides are telling his tea. Yeah. I need to be careful with him. So I was like, oh, okay. So y'all had chemistry. That's great. But we're talking about us. Again, icky, pay attention. Center us. This is the date. I literally said this, guys. May I be struck down by God if I didn't say this.
I did say it.
And by the way, when you're a witch, you can't say stuff like that because you will get struck down. My friends say all the time that I can't tell jokes like everybody else because it'll happen. So we pull up to his place. I get out the car. We hug goodbye. It's a really nice full body hug.
It was a good hug.
And there's like electricity. I was like, oh, he likes me. He leaves. That was December 30th, 2023. December 31st, my co-host for my podcast at the time, Lulu, was having a party, and her uncle was rich and had a Harlem brownstone, had invited me and my sister Mel to come with them. So it's December 31st, and we're at this house party. I meet Tiffany Battle, amazing influencer who does really great clothes content. I meet a bunch of different people. My other co-host, was he there? No, I think he was in Miami. So it was just me, Lulu, my sister, and some other people. We're having a great night. And I'm telling my sister, I was like, yo, my date last night was electric. She was like, how was it? I was like, girl, it was 9 hours. She's like, okay, no man is spending 9 hours holding your hands, looking into your eyes, telling you how beautiful you are, unless he likes you. I was like, yeah, girl. Like, I learned from my past mistakes. Nothing was ambiguous. I made everything so obnoxiously clear that I was almost rude about it. Like, niggas, we dating or not? It was one of those.
Yeah.
She's like, that's amazing. That's amazing. I don't hear from him on New Year's Eve. I'm a little sad about that, but I'm like, well, girl, you just met him. Whatever. He had told me that he was DJing at an event for the first time for New Year's. And when I went on her stories, he was DJing and having a great whatever. So New Year's Day happens, and I text him. I was like, yo, that DJ set that you were nervous about, because you talk for 9 hours, people share, right? That DJ set that you were nervous about looks really, really great.
I disagree with this. I wasn't leading the date. He chose all the places and paid for all the food. I was leading the conversation to make sure integrity was maintained. I wasn't leading the date. I had to this day, I can't tell you the name of any of the places that we went. I can't tell you what anything costs. I let him lead. I just made sure that while he was leading, that integrity remained present. So I don't agree that I was leading the date. I'm not interested in this phase of my life of having to lead a date. I lead a whole company. I don't need to lead dates.
It looked like you had a great time. He's like, yeah, I feel amazing. I feel amazing. The next day, January 2nd, mind you, on January 1st, I went live. If you go on my stories, January 1st, 2024, I went live wearing all white.
I did.
Because at the time, I was talking to my spirit guide so much, I was wearing white a lot. And January 2nd, I leave Bridget and Cheech's house because Bridget and Cheech had went to Jamaica and let me stay in the house by myself. So I clean up the space in the house. I pack up my bags. I go to JFK. Normally, Bridget would have driven me, but she was in Jamaica with her fiance. So I'm on the treadmill. You guys know that when you're
By the way, Ike, if you're watching on a burner, what's up, my nigga? I'm still as direct as I was before. Stay safe. Let's keep going.
JFK or any hotel, not hotel, any airport that has a long walk, there's a treadmill that will help you move in case you are handicapped and need some help. So I grab my bag. I'm on the treadmill. I'm just like, la, la, la. That was a great date. It's fun to date again. I'm thinking about him hard because I was really smitten immediately. And in the middle of this treadmill, boosh, I have a That's So Raven moment. I literally blacked out on the treadmill. Blacked the fuck out. In the treadmill, as the mind you, it's going towards the edge, which means if I don't wake up in time, I'm gonna face plant on the floor.
For those who don't know the treadmill on JFK is so fucking huge that there are these little, and I think Boston has this as well in Atlanta. There are these patches where there's a treadmill that you could stand on if you don't feel like walking for about, a couple blocks before you get to your next gate. So I was on the airport treadmill with my bag when I blacked out to have a vision. That is fucking dangerous because in my mind, if I don't wake up from this before the treadmill ends, I'm going to bust my ass at JFK. It is very, very unsafe. Of all the places to have a vision, having one on a treadmill is top two of scary ones outside of having one on the ledge on a roof, right? So this was burned in my brain because to this day, it's the most violent premonition I've ever had in my entire life. And I would later see that it was meant to protect me. JFK. So I black out on the treadmill. I can't even imagine what people walking around me were thinking. I black out and I see a woman's face and her full government name. I see a face and a full government name, guys. Yeah. And
just before the treadmill ends, I come back again. And I trip at the end of the treadmill. And I was like, what the fuck was that? Because in my entire life, I've joked about being That's So Raven. I've actually never had a That's So Raven moment, right?
I don't want it.
What the fuck was that? And my spirit guides were like, it's about this nigga. You keep thinking about him. This is about him. She is about him. So let's say her name is Sandy Springs. Let's call the lady Sandy Springs. So I get a picture of a woman's face in my head and the word Sandy Springs. That's not her real name. I'm just saying it to protect her because unlike Danielle and Jesse and everybody else, I did not call this lady to get her consent. And I want to make sure that no other women whose time he's wasted are being hurt on behalf of the story time.
I do care about consent.
So I get this name, Sandy Springs, and I see her face. plus size, pretty girl. So I was already like, okay, I already know where this is going because you like pretty big bitches.
Yeah.
I get on the flight and the Wi-Fi is not on. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to have to wait until I get to LAX. You guys, do you know how bad it is to get a psychic download about a full government fucking name of a bitch's face and everything? And you're on a 6-hour flight with no Wi-Fi?
Ugh.
Ooh, bon Dieu. I was
sick.
distraught.
I was
Okay.
sick.
I had to pee so many times. I was so fucking distraught. So now I finally land at LAX 6.5 hours later. The minute we land, I pull up my Wi-Fi and look up Sandy Springs on Google. Somebody with that name had died in 1967. Somebody with that name owns a restaurant. I'm like, who the fuck? Who's this lady? Somebody says, no, bitch, go to Instagram. I go to Instagram and put in Sandy Springs, and she popped.
By the way, I had another download at the airport on, what day did I fly back? Sunday? Whatever day I flew back, I had a download about several things, not just one thing. I had a download about 5 or 6 different things this past Sunday at the airport in Boston. And for a quick second, it triggered me back to being in New York and having that download. I don't like having downloads at the airport because now I'm stuck on a flight with nothing to do but obsess about whatever the fuck they're telling me. But yeah, no, it recently happened to me again a couple of days ago. And several of the things, and I'm not going to share any of those things. Several of the things, I talked to my friends about one of them, but there was like 5 other things I haven't talked to anybody about. One of the premonitions I had, or the downloads I had, was so random. I was like, wait, what? I come home. How about there at the altar where my aunt is? There was proof of the premonition at the altar on the floor. I don't know how I got into my house. I sent Mel a video. There was proof of something that I had downloaded in my home, right near my altar. Freaked me the fuck out, and I sent Mel a video like, God damn. So I just need you to know, everybody thinks, oh, I want to be a witch, I want to be psychic. No. The shit be on some, it's weird sometimes. And people who hang out with me are like, oh God, this is real. So yeah, my spirit guides are very active. I almost feel like they're being very active right now. And this is part of the reason why they're making me watch this video back, because this video is probably the most active they've been in several years. And I feel like because the candle shop is about to open now, and there is a certain new line of candles that I have only used for myself that I'm about to start selling soon, I think they're being very intentional about guiding me about how to do it responsibly. Oh no, I'm always safe. I'm always safe. My guides are very heavy-handed about keeping me safe. But yeah, no, you got to be careful when it's anything around spirituality and be in a space of reverence. You can't be cocky when it comes to the spiritual realm. You can't. You just can't. All right, let's continue.
Pops up the exact lady from my vision. I almost dropped my phone. Because here's the thing. If you get a psychic vision of a name and a face, you're thinking you're tripping until you pull up the name and the face pops up.
Yeah, that's just.
I was like, bitch, you have been channeling this entire fucking trip. Who the fuck is Sandy Springs? When I go to Sandy Springs page, the first thing I see is Bridget Kelly's a mutual friend. I said, okay, so Sandy Springs knows my friend Bridget. We have like 10, 15 friends in common. Okay, well, why do I care about this random light-skinned plus-size lady who has 15 friends in common with me? Why do I care? I start scrolling down her page and see a picture of her in a bathing suit for some kind of ad. I click on the picture. Very first comment is Icky.
Woo!
Oh, Icky is dating Sandy Springs, and my spirit guides wanted me to know. So now I'm like, all right, let me go meditate. Because for you to have me almost bust my ass at JFK, this must be a heavy download. I meditate for 30 minutes. And during the meditation, what they end up telling me, you guys, I do talk to spirits, quite literally. They tell me Sandy Springs is the closest he has come to a you. She's the last woman whose time he wasted.
Ooh.
But she does not have the self-esteem or the boundaries that you have. If you ever want to know who he is, if you ever find yourself thinking you're falling for this nigga, if you ever take him too serious, all you have to do is go to Sandy Springs' page. The way that he engages with her is who he really is when he thinks nobody's looking, because she only has like 1,500 followers and she's not famous.
Oh, well, yeah.
I was like, fuck. Within 72 fucking hours, you dumbass, within 72 hours of knowing this nigga, I already got the name of one of the bitches he was fucking with. within 72 fucking hours. Maybe you should have held on to that crystal. And I'm speaking to him because he's a stalker, so I know he's going to see this video. So I'm like, okay, so I now know that this nigga is talking to a girl and she lives in LA. Okay, I live in LA. You're talking to a girl who I have 15, 20 mutual friends with, including one of my best friends, Bridget fucking Kelly. Okay. Got it. So, bitch, calm down. He was sexy. He was fine. That 9 hours was real cute, but calm down. Don't get ahead of yourself. And mind you guys, the irony is that he's going around telling everybody that I'm obsessed with him and that I secretly want to be with him, when within 72 hours, my spirit guys were like, we're not sure about this nigga. So that's funny. So I'm like, all right, well, let me just go about my business. The month of January goes by. Mind you, and by the way, Florence might be in here. Florence is in here. Florence, do you remember? Because Florence is one of my followers who's been such a great person. Florence, the day that you met was January 1st. Oh my God, how funny is this? God is working hard. You guys, that New Year's, where me and Icky had our date on December 30th, and December 31st was New Year's Eve. January 1st, Haitian Independence Day, I made a post on Instagram. Florence, you can attest to this.
To answer that question, I'm not playing these semantics games with y'all, so I just say romantically entertained. Because of the icky situation, to me, going on dates is dating. I'm very literal. If I only see you when you're taking me on dates, that is quite literally dating to me. Sure, talking is fine, but we were literally going on 9, 12, 36-hour dates. In my autistic brain, it couldn't be any more direct.
Saying, I want some soup jumu, some Haitian independence soup. Where can I get it in Brooklyn? You guys flooded me with messages about where to go in Brooklyn. I go to a restaurant on January 1st, 2 days after my first date with this man, and I run into Florence, who still follows me. What's up, Florence? Florence, can you just attest in the comments that you and I met on January 1st? It's so crazy that I thought I had receipts. Receipts are showing up in the fucking chat. This is what happens when you're favored by God, guys. The fact that there's so many people in this chat who can attest to what I'm saying is why this nigga should have never threatened me. I'm gonna go TMZ. Nigga, fuck you.
Oh.
So January 1st, I had the soup, right? And my sister was like, Blue, they just comped our entire meal at this Haitian restaurant in Brooklyn because the owner and a bunch of the patrons knew who you were. Just because you're not famous by Hollywood standards doesn't mean people don't know who you are. Because at this point, there we go. January 1st. Thank you, Florence. Again, God wants you to know that I'm not a fucking liar. So my sister was like, Blue, you don't understand. People know who you are. You were at the Griot. You were getting 10 million. Like, here's the thing. I was at the Griot getting 10 million views on my articles for 8 years straight. I worked at Hollywood Unlocked, where Jason Lee gets millions of views. We had a Hollywood Unlocked TV show. We had a radio show, and we had a podcast, right? I've been on CNN. I've been on Sirius Radio with Joy Ann Reid and Jackie Reed. I have worked in so many high places where millions of people who don't follow me still know who I am, that I think in my mind, because I live in Hollywood where there's actual celebrities, I don't ever fully clock that you don't have to be a celebrity to be a public figure.
That's true.
So that day that I met Florence, where I kept on meeting my followers, I was like, oh shit, I'm not as anonymous as I think. Now, why is this important, guys? This is important because I underestimated me in the same way that he did. He's thinking she has 20,000 followers. I have 250,000 followers. She's a nobody. I'm thinking I'm an industry person who discretion is how I pay my bills. I have a low follower count on purpose because the people who follow me, if you guys look at my page, guys, look at who follows me on Instagram. If you look at who follows me on Instagram, Hollywood Unlocked, The Shade Room, and a bunch of famous people. And titans of industry. Dave Chappelle's manager follows me. Why? Because when I wrote an article on Dave Chappelle, they had to hit me up and be like, hey, Blue, you didn't lie, but you said it a little bit blunt. Can you fix it? I have so many celebrities whose assistants follow me because when I write articles or something I do goes viral, they want to be able to contact me to give me more corroborating information. I am Olivia Nope.
Now, what's that thing that people do where they write articles? It has a name. What's that page called? Because everybody keeps on telling me to join, not Patreon. It's for articles. Not Spark Club. What is it called, y'all? What is the site called that everybody and their mother keeps telling me I need to join? When people write articles to their audience, and they can have memberships for writing articles. I really Substack. There we go. Because I was a columnist. Sorry, this carrot is very, very chewy. Because I was a columnist for almost a decade and had to write 3 to 5 articles a week. I miss writing. Like, it's fun doing videos, but I miss writing. So I'm thinking that come this fall, I'm going to start a Substack, because there's some things I don't want to say. I just want to write them. I'm a writer. Of course I miss writing.
Right? And if you watch Scandal, part of Olivia's thing is Olivia is supposed to be behind the scenes. So I get paid by knowing when to talk and when not to talk.
Yeah.
So this nigga's thinking I'm a nobody, not realizing that I'm an industry girl who's being discreet. That is very important. So when I ran into Florence, my sister was like, I've been telling you this for years. You can't work in politics and entertainment for 20 years and think people don't know you, Blue, and you have followers. The few and mighty who do follow you are very loyal. Be careful who you're around.
She's right.
I'm sharing this because January 2nd, when I got home, Florence might be able to tell you this. I went live. I was shaking and I went live and I said, hey guys, I just had a psychic download at JFK on a treadmill, almost busted my ass. My spirit guides have sent me some woman's name. They only send me people's names when I'm in danger. I am so scared. If there are any other psychics watching this, how do you turn this shit off? The day that I had the psychic download about the girl that he was talking about, I literally went live and begged any other psychics. Look at Florence corroborating it. You did go live. You told us about the download. Thank you, Florence. Oh, bon Dieu. Look at God. I was so scared about my spirit guides warning me about this nigga. I literally went live on the verge of tears.
I did.
Saying, how do I turn this shit off? I'm used to being psychic during meetings. I don't want to be psychic on a regular fucking day at the airport. Oh, look, Wednesday scales. Thank you. You remember that. Oh my God. God wanted me to do this on YouTube so y'all can like come up here and corroborate. I'm about to start crying. When niggas lie on you, it feels so good when other people can have your back because it gets lonely being a true teller. I'm gonna be honest.
It does.
So I go live saying, yo, I need to turn this shit off because I'm having a download about a bitch who don't like me. Because the only time I have downloads about people is when they're mad at me. I would later find out why Sandy Springs was mad at me. So I don't think anything about him. And I'm thinking everything's cool. And I don't hear from him. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I don't hear from him. And he had told me, he's like, Blue, I'm only good face-to-face. I am not good at texting. Whenever I try to text somebody, it just doesn't, I'm not a good communicator. But whenever you come to New York, I would love to see you. Funny enough, February comes, Bridget and Mandy have their public breakup. I wouldn't have said this before, but this is very public. Bridget and Mandy have their public breakup where Mandy refuses to come on set. And Bridget's on the phone to me, devastated, saying, we have our last episode and Amanda will not come on set. And I don't want to just be there looking stupid by myself. And I said, friend, there's no way. I'm one of those friends, by the way. If you're going through something and I got some Delta points, I'm hopping on a fucking
I'm pulling
plane.
the fuck up.
I said, friend, I'm going to cancel all my client calls and fly to New York tomorrow to do the show with you. If you watch the See the Thing Is podcast, that last episode that they taped, not the last one that they aired, the last one that they taped was the Beyonce Cowboy Carter or whatever it was episode that me and Bridget did in February of 2024. So I'm like, fuck, I got to go to New York and have my friends back. There's no fucking way that you can leave my friend out here without a cause to tape her live show because you want some funny shit. So I fly to New York to be there for Bridget. And I'm like, oh shit, this nigga had told me if you're in New York, hit me up. So I'm like, hey, yo, I don't know what you got going on. I am unexpectedly going to be in New York for 72 hours. So,
by the way, I put that person on a timeout because they were sharing a lot of religious dogma. So they're on a timeout. I'm not sure how long that lasts, but when they come back, please be respectful. If you're someone who thinks that I'm demonic just because I was born with the gift that I didn't ask for, that's between you and whatever God you serve. But please be respectful in this space the way I would be in yours.
If you want to catch a drink, sure. I'm thinking, well, this nigga hasn't talked to me in a month since our first date, so he's probably not going to respond. He responds immediately. He said, just tell me the time and place, I'm there. I was like, oh shit, okay. So then I'm like, wait a minute. I've been ignoring this man for a month because I got scared about what my spirit guides were saying. What has he been up to? I go on his page. That influencer that he met back in November, the 3 weeks before our first date, the one that I knew immediately liked him, they're now doing content together. They're now doing comedy shows together.
By the way, the website's coming back up in probably in the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned for an update on that.
But she's not your type, right? And they post a video where he's attacking women for not writing dick well enough. And the response to that video was he and her did a video where she's laying on his bed and he's laying on his he's laying on her bed and she is getting him to see how hard it is for women to ride dick. So I'm watching a video of you and this young lady who the minute y'all met, I knew liked you. Yeah. Before you and I even met, my psychic spirit told me that she liked you. And y'all are pantomiming reverse cowgirls in a comedy video. But then I look at the follower count and I realize she has more followers than him. Oh, this is a collab because he wants her to get put on and get more following. Got it. I get it. And by the way, I'm not actually judging that. I'm not judging the business.
No.
So second date happens. I say, Bridget, because my spirit guides told me to be careful with this nigga, can you drop me off at the restaurant? Because I want somebody else to lay eyes on him. You guys, at this point, I've only met this man one time. The man who claims I'm obsessed with him. I'm obsessed with you, but I'm asking my friends to come watch you and make sure that you're not on some crazy shit. Okay, sir. Bridget and I sit outside because, again, he's late again. This nigga is always fucking late. 20 minutes late again. Me and Bridget sit in that car for 20 fucking minutes waiting for this nigga to show up. He turns the corner and pulls up looking like a Ralph Lauren model. I will give you this. The nigga is fine. I will never call this man ugly. He pulls up dressed to the nines, holding a duffel bag, looking like a fucking Ralph Lauren commercial. She was like, girl, he is kind of fun. I said, yeah, bitch, that's why I need support. I need support. He pulls up, does that smile, like, hey, what's up? Leans over, says hi to Bridget, charms her. Says, all right, girl, pray for me.
By the way, yes, she's in a relationship now. And I even said back at the time, I was like, young girls who want to feel like special unicorns will pretend to be queer, pansexual, poly, all the things, everything that's considered deviant and whatever. And only 20% of them actually mean that shit. The other 80%, they get older, they meet a nice guy that they like, and then they realize that they're a regular person like the rest of us. It's a rite of passage. So because she was a very young girl, I knew that all that shit she was spitting with Icky was just a part of her finding her wings. I knew not to take it seriously. I'm not surprised that she met a decent regular man and is now in a regular relationship, right? It happens to the best of us. I told y'all that I went through a phase of trying to figure out if I was poly or not and trying to figure out what my sexuality was. It's part of the process. My thing is, though, be careful on the internet, because when I was doing it, the internet wasn't as big as it is now. So I could be full of shit, say things that I wouldn't mean 5 years later, and nobody would be the wiser because we were all growing up together. On the internet, when you're building a brand on spitting big shit before you're even 30, that you're going to have to walk back before you're 35 or 40, is dangerous, because now you look like a fraud, right? And so at the time, I was 99.9% sure that both her and Icky were on some bullshit about this whole poly thing. I knew it was bullshit because I was the elder, right? I was a decade older than him and old enough to be her mother. That's the thing. Shout out to my homegirl, Ebony, from Boston. My homegirl, Ebony, got pregnant at 13. So whenever I meet anybody who's 13 or 14 years younger than me, my first thought is, you're Ebony's kid's age, right? So I'm old enough to be this young lady's mother. I knew she was full of shit. It's part of the age. But he was still a grown-ass man in his 30s. And there's something that happens about men who can't finesse older women, who then lean on younger women in order to stroke their own egos. It's kind of sinister. But yeah, I'm happy whatever they were doing stopped and she's found herself a regular relationship. I will say, though, I'm very clear that people in his ecosystem saw this video and he had some answering to do. So any role that I could have played in helping you bitches free yourselves, you're welcome. You're welcome. You talked all that shit about me and I helped get you free. It's giving Harriet Tubman, child.
We go into the restaurant because now I'm like, bitch, take two, second date. This time, do the same thing you did the first time. Tell the truth and shame the devil. We sit down. It's a candlelit restaurant. The first time we met, it was a brunch spot, a coffee house, and a bakery. This time, it is a romantic candlelit restaurant out of a Netflix limited series.
Mm-hmm.
Twinkling lights everywhere. Only 10 patrons in the entire spot. And they're all couples. All couples. I'm like, okay, well, this is very romantic. This is nice. I'm like, fuck. This is my dream date scenario. Fuck, this nigga is going to be hard to get around. I sit down next to him. And I'm like, so what's the double bag for? He's like, oh, I was shooting content, showing off all my menswear and stuff. I was like, yo, that outfit is fly. Impeccable taste. Again, I'm not a hater. I'm a truth teller, but I'm not a hater. This man can dress his ass off.
He can.
So I am going through the thing with him. He showed me his clothes, and then he sits down to talk to me. And we're talking. And I say,
yeah, it's the same one. It's the exact same one.
So check it. You know how I am by now. We need to talk. What's going on with you and your and that girl that you're doing the comedy show with? He's like, oh, that's my partner in crime. I said, What did I tell you on the first date? I don't like lies. I'd rather you tell me the truth and we have a gully ass, gangster ass conversation, but don't lie to me. Are you and her dating? Because again, the last time we spoke, you told me that we were not just friends and we were on a date. The date was 9 hours and then you never spoke to me for a whole month.
Yeah.
When I say I'm in your city, you cancel all your plans and rush to see me. I'm confused. I am confusion. Are you and this girl dating? And he says to me, nah, that's just the homie. I said, nah, she likes you. He's like, well, how is it my fault that she likes me? That's just the homie. I can't help it. My female friends like me. A lot of my female friends like me. Mind you, we're holding hands, guys, because ever since that first time, every time that we would ever meet until the day that we stopped being cool, we always held hands. So we're in a candlelit restaurant holding hands. And he's telling me that the girl that my spidey sense is telling me wants to fuck on you real bad is just his little homie.
By the way, I gave her a timeout. She came back on the same bullshit, so now she's been deleted. Thank you guys for your patience with the troll.
And I'm thinking, well, he's like, she's not even my type. Because again, he likes big girls and she's like a size 4, size 2, size 4. She's probably a size 8 and is happy I'm saying size 2, size 4. So he's like, no, that's just the homie. That's just the homie. That's just the homie. I was like, okay, you might say that, but I think she likes you. He's like, no. I was like, well, how do your female friends know when you're rejecting them? How do you set that boundary? Mm-hmm. He's like, my female friends know I'm rejecting them because if they try to touch me, I'll pull away. We're holding hands as he says this, guys. He says, my female friends know that I don't want to be with them because when they try to touch me, I pull away. As he and I are holding hands, the couple next to us is making out. A week earlier, me and my friend John were hanging out in DTLA, and John and I were talking about this game that I play called Worst Smell Ever. I know it sounds so juvenile. I was like, John, what's the worst smell you ever smelled? My answer is always homeless sex. I think when unhoused people have sex, those bodily fluids, worst smell ever.
Yeah.
I lived in New York for 5 years, so unfortunately I know what that smells like. John said, the worst smell ever was veneer breath. Veneer breath is the worst smell ever. I said, John, what the fuck is veneer breath? I ain't never smelled a fucking veneer breath. Fast forward. He leans over, and for the first time ever, I get a whiff of veneer breath.
Ooh.
I said, oh. Oh, bonjour.
Forever changed.
I said, bitch, you are in a candlelit restaurant holding hands with this man. Couple next to you is making out. And for the first time in your life, you just smelled a smell that you didn't even know how to identify until 7 days ago. Mm-hmm. Your guys do not want you to kiss this man. I smell the veneer breath. And I'm like, whoo. I was like, okay. So the irony is, as I'm smelling the veneer breath, which I didn't know he's the only person I've ever smelled it on, by the way. That was the first and last time I've ever smelled veneer breath. Ugh. And I was like, fuck, if we were dating, I would be telling like, babe, you need to go gargle. Because I actually Googled it afterwards, how to get rid of veneer breath.
I did.
So we're talking, and I'm somewhere, he's like, I really like hanging out with you. I was like, yeah, we are now 4 hours into another date. Guys, we're 4 hours into this date now at the candlelit restaurant. And I say to him, you keep telling me how beautiful I am. He's like, yeah, hanging out with you was so good because you're so beautiful. And I say to him, deadpan, because now I'm like, am I being love bombed? Because I teach about love bombing. I was like, why does me being beautiful have anything to do with why it's easier for you to hang out with me? Like, if we're just hanging out, why does why I look matter? I said it to him just like that. And he gets real serious and he lets go of my hand. Mm-hmm. And he goes like this. May I be struck down dead by every demon and angel that's ever lived if I am lying. He says, on one hand, there are the women that I fuck. On the other hand, there are the women that I have amazing conversation with. You are the first time that I've ever found myself wanting to figure out how to do both. And he closed his hands.
Yup, just like that. Yup. Fuck him.
This is a nigga who's going around telling y'all that I'm obsessed with them guys. On one hand, there are the women that I fuck. On the other hand, there are the women that I have great conversation with. You are the first time in my life that I've ever found myself trying to figure out how to do both. And then he closed his hands dramatically. Mm-hmm. And I just stared at him like, bitch, you might be too autistic for this because it's probably a nonverbal social cue happening right now. But the data you are receiving is so wild, you are buffering. I was buffering, guys. Dating with autism is hard because funny shit will make me buffer like a computer. Even the smartest MacBook Pro, if you give it bad data, it will start to sputter.
That's true.
So I'm just like, oh, oh, that don't feel good. I said, oh, okay. I said, Ike, have you been stalking my page? Oh, Icky, have you been stalking my page?
I did say that. Fuck.
He was like, no. I said, okay. He's like, but I do have an obsessive personality, though. I said, you have an obsessive personality? He said, yeah, I have an obsessive personality. I said, well, what's your latest obsession? Because I'm still thinking, you went through that bitch's files to find out that her ex-husband was paying for her house. Okay? So I need to know, what's your latest obsession, my guy? This man, very attractive, licks his lips and leans over and says, you're my latest obsession.
Me?
And I said, girl, this not the tism. This man is telling you that you are his latest obsession. You are holding hands. You just asked him about the girl who was pretending to ride his dick on a comedy video, and he said that was just the homie. And now he's telling you that he's trying to figure out how to be a better man for you. If he is love bombing you, he is laying it on thick.
Y'all see how I left no room for confusion? This is not a miscommunication. I'm too blunt for anybody to say that I miscommunicated. You just didn't want to hear that shit. I'm not even built to miscommunicate. My lever is always set to say that shit. Which is why I tell people all the time, why do y'all ask me questions? Please know who you're asking a question. If you don't want a direct answer, please skip me and ask somebody else. I get paid to give my opinion. I don't have to do it for free. In my personal life, if my friends don't ask my opinion, I'm not upset about it. I don't feel compelled to give free opinions. Usually when I give an opinion, there's an invoice. So for me to be this direct with this nigga and for him to act like, oh, she's just an obsessed bitch who misunderstood, nigga, okay.
Laying it on thick. That's that real thick.
Ooh.
We go on 2 more dates that month because I ended up being in New York longer than I expected. While I am in New York on our third date, mind you, again, the second date, the restaurant put us out at like 1 a.m.
Again.
We were there till this time, before the first date was 9 hours, this date was 12 hours.
In one spot.
Our second date was 12 hours at a candlelit restaurant where Bridget Kelly dropped me off. So she is my witness. And the owners put us out once again. And I'm like, bitch, oh, you like him a lot. 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 Mm-hmm. So guess what I do? When I get back to Bridget's house, I open up my phone and I go to Sandy Springs page. I go to Sandy Spring page and she's posting thirst traps and he's doing heart eye emojis underneath them. I said, nigga, every time I try to like you, my spirit guides act like haters. What in the entire fuck? Third date happens. We meet at a hotel. The hotel has a beautiful bar. One of the guys who's doing the live band at the hotel starts flirting with me. It's a white guy. It was a very Nicolandria thing. I was like, nigga, you sure I'm your type? I was wearing this beautiful black bodycon dress. My titties was sitting, okay? Pictures. In the pictures, whenever people see pictures from this date, they're like, Blue, y'all look gorgeous.
I feel like I did look cute that day. Hold on now. I mean, I did look cute. Where the pictures at? My titties was sitting. Okay. I'm going to airdrop this picture because I know it's not the members only. Members, you will be getting more pictures than just, but I'm going to send it to my MacBook Air. Okay. Let's see if I can pull this down and show you the picture of our third date. Video. Download. Hold on. Oh, I didn't give it a name. Usually if I don't give the downloads a name. Hold on, let me cancel and do it one more time. I'm going to let this play. Hold on. No, I'm going to do it again. MacBook Air. There we go. Third. I'm going to call it third. Y'all going to see a picture. Well, it's a video image because it was a boomerang. Because, you know, basic bitches like boomerang, girl. Let me see. Third. Did I spell third incorrectly? There we go. Third. I spelled it with the letter 3 instead. Here we go. Here we go. Here is a boomerang of the third date.
When I say my titties was sitting, there was yeah. So third date, we meet at this restaurant, and we are clearly having a lot of fun. A lot of good fun. I look cute, didn't I? I'm just saying, ew. Okay. I just want to show you. I wish I could show you the bodycon dress. Snatched. This was 20 pounds ago before the hormones started fucking with me and stuff. But yeah, it was snatched. All right. Let's go. But do you see how in real life we look like a beautiful couple having a good time? Like all of this was fun and sexy. I was down for, I'm a Gemini rising, Gemini Venus. I'm down for, look at this. I'm down for fun and sexy. This is very Gemini Venus coded. We love shit like this. When I sent him the video, he even said, we look like Beyonce and Jay-Z. So that's why I need you to understand the whole, were you dating? Well, technically you were just talking. That's not how he was acting in real life. I live in real life, guys. All right, back to the story time. I actually have to pee, so I just wanted to stun about how cute I was before I run off to pee. All right, let's play the story time again. And we hit play on this.
He said we look gorgeous. So I show up in this sexy black slinky dress that you only put on when you're trying to get fucked. This is not the kind of dress you wear around friends. And I'm wearing this slinky black dress. He takes one look at me and he starts to genuflect. He literally gets down on his knees and starts to genuflect at my feet and says, I am not worthy. He said, you look stunning. I am not worthy. I did look stunning. He's like, but what's up with the, I was like, yeah, the guy at the band is like making eyes at me. What the fuck? So we're joking about how the guy playing live music is taken with me because it's a Nicolandria situation. Why is this little white boy staring at me like this? We end up moving to a seat closer to where the guy is playing the music. And he's like, so he's going to just say, and then when we walked past the guy said hi to me, but didn't say hi to him. He's like, oh, so he can't say hi to me. I was like, oh, calm down. So we're talking. And he's like, you keep telling me you're neurodivergent. What does that mean? I said, it means that you get overstimulated. You can't read nonverbal social cues. It depends on what kind of neurodivergence you have. And so I just always warn men, don't assume that I'm thinking something. I might just not be reading the room. Always be blunt with me, compassionate, but blunt, because I can't do the whole read between the lines thing. You saw me on our first date. I had no representative. I had my ass all out in Front Street the first date. He starts laughing. He's like, damn, maybe I'm neurodivergent too. He said, oh, you're absolutely neurodivergent. I was like, neurodivergent people tend to subconsciously date other neurodivergent people. And because you're such an amazing artist, part of your gift probably comes from whatever undiagnosed form of neurodivergence you have. He's like, so what have you been up to? I was like, well, I want to be transparent with you. I went out with some friends and this guy was trying to talk to me and I curved him. But he kind of fits your profile. He's 6'4". You're 6'2". He's 6'4". He's chocolate. And he was like hitting on me. But when I asked my friend Mike about him, Mike was like, nah, he's a fuck nigga. So I curved him. He's like, show me a picture. I show him a picture. He immediately starts going in on this dude. Look at this sucker ass nigga. I was like, damn, you're getting, I'm like, he has a jealous streak. Got it. Mind you, I've already questioned him on mad bitches, but he has a jealous streak. I take my phone back like, don't be mean. That's still Mike's friend. So we're talking. I was like, well, who have you been talking to lately? What's going on with you? He's like, well, I got my roster. I said, you do? He said, no, I'm just kidding. Because I'm the kind of bitch, you can't joke about a roster with me. I'll stop talking to you. He's like, no, I'm just kidding. But here's the thing, though. There was a girl that I was talking to right before you and I met. And I tried to break up with her, but she wouldn't let me. And she's constantly crying. She spent an hour crying on the phone about not wanting me to let her go, this, that, and the other. And she's mad because she was in town around New Year's Eve and I was busy, so I couldn't hang out with her. And so she's just been giving me a lot of headache. You guys, what was the date of our first date? Let's see who's listening.
Ooh. We got tests on these story times.
Our first date. I'm saying this because if this young lady, if Sandy Springs, if you know who you are, Sandy Springs. If Sandy Springs ever seen this video, I want you to know that, sis, I have your back too. He was talking shit about you on our third date.
Damn.
I say to myself, wait, he is telling me that this woman flew from wherever she was from LA, I'm assuming, to New York to see him for New Year's Eve. And
our first date was December 30th.
He didn't see her because he was busy. But on 12/30, that time frame, he wasn't busy. He was with me. You dumbass. On our third date, you just confessed to me that you curved the woman that you were talking way before me to go on a first date with me rather than taking her calls. Because one of the things that I noticed on our first date was he turned his phone upside down and refused to take any calls the entire first date. So that 9 hours that you were smiling in my face, telling me how beautiful I am, holding my hand, telling me how you wish that your female friends who are toxic and a mess and gonna probably die alone because all they want is to get husbands but don't work on their personalities.
Damn.
You're talking all this shit about all these people, and the entire time, a woman that you care about is trying to figure out where you are. So she was in town in New York waiting to spend time with you, and you were with me. The anger that woman felt was probably pretty heavy. What did I say about my spirit guides, guys? My spirit guides only tell me somebody's business when they feel that there's hatred or anger directed at me.
Yep.
Poor Sandy Springs spent New Year's Eve weekend angry and crying and thinking this man didn't care about her, not realizing that he was with me. So she's sending an evil eye to whatever bitch he's with, and that bitch was me.
Yikes.
That's why I got the download at JFK and was passed down the fucking treadmill. There was so much probably heartache, anger, and confusion coming at her, from her, towards me, without her knowing who I am, that my spirit guides, who I've been told are very protective, were like, bitch, not too fucking much. Not only not too fucking much, we gonna tell our girl your full government name, keep it the fuck cute. So Sandy, please, if you are...
The fact that whatever juju she sent pissed off my spirit guide so much, they sent me her full government, her location, damn near sent me her address. Girl, don't worry about me. Y'all can have him. This is why I don't play them kind of games, because I'm not playing fair to begin with. I'm like, this girl is sitting around like, fuck him and whatever bitch he's with. And my spirit guide said, excuse me, bitch? Fuck who now? Y'all, I just need to find me a good man who knows how to tell the truth and won't embarrass me. Lord.
Want to send me any more bad energy? Don't, babe. You're unsafe. You're not safe. Don't send me any more bad energy.
Leave me alone.
So I was like, that's why I had the download. Your bitch was sending me bad energy because you... Somebody said Bluecentric. I have learned that the spirit guides tell us about people who live in the same spaces with. He was overlapping and spirits were sounding the alarm. They were. And Florence and Scales and anybody else who was there on January 1st, 2024.
By the way, guys, this woman is heavily in the church. She has very heavy spirit guides herself. So I think that's why they protected her. She's very spiritual, very entrenched in church, very godly, very Christian. So imagine a Christian woman who's wasting her time with a fuck nigga and a Buddhist witch who just met said fuck nigga. Their energies are like bouncing off each other. Fuck nigga sleeping safe and sound while my guides are being told by her guides, be nice, she don't mean it. A whole mess, child. A whole fucking mess.
Where I was wearing all white with black twists in my hair. You guys, I even remember what the fuck I was wearing. You were there. You all saw how scared I was. Right? January 1st, I did a fun live. The very next day, it was night and day. January 1st, I looked happy. January 2nd, I'm shaking.
I was shaking.
Because my spirit guides are like, somebody wants to take you out. Poor Sandy Springs was sending me the evil eye and didn't know that she was sending bad juju at a really powerful witch. Now I feel bad for Sandy. I'm like, oh, bitch, you done pissed off my spirit guides and you just a cog in the machine.
Sandy's also a Gemini. I'm a Gemini rising and Gemini Venus. She's a Gemini sun.
He gets up to go to the bathroom. Oh, Tiffany Banks was also there. I love these receipts. This nigga said, I'm TMZ. I'm going to threaten your life. Whole time, niggas who can corroborate for me are popping up by the hundreds in this live. So he goes to the bathroom and I'm like, Sandy Springs was mad at him. And that's why my spirit guides. So now I feel bad, guys. I'm not going to use the term girl because y'all use that shit to weaponize a silence and make people not tell the truth. But I'm a woman who has compassion for other women who are dealing with men who think that they are hot shit.
Mm-hmm.
So while he goes to the bathroom, I go to Sandy Springs' page. Her posts are all sad and shit. I'm like, now this bitch is depressed because of me.
She was so sad, child.
I feel bad. Mind you, there's other bitches because he said roster. And sometimes when men tell jokes, they actually are telling the truth. So I'm looking at the stories while he's in the bathroom and I recognize spirit guide said, oh, while he's literally in the bathroom, my spirit guide says, remember that trip to London that you almost took?
I forgot.
Had you gone, you would have met him then. You guys, remember how I said the story starts in 2022 when I came back from London, had a prophetic dream that my mother was going to die, took her to a kidney specialist and saved her life because she would have been dead by her following birthday had I not taken her? On that trip to London, I was hanging out with Letitia Lynch, what's his name? Mo from the Mo Gilligan show, some famous London Wu-Tang Clan, who I don't know because I wasn't raised in London. I met all these amazing people. We're at Soul House popping bottles, having fun. And me and Mike ran into each other in London. We're running the streets. Y'all who were following back then, remember that. When I got back, I called my sister Mel and said, I talked to my friend James. James said the reason why Black London was so lit is because you came for a Beyonce concert during a bank holiday. Mm-hmm. London is always lit with niggas during bank holidays. I went on my phone, literally looked up the following bank holiday. And that bank holiday was going to be around Notting Hill Carnival or something. So I said to myself, in 2023, I'm going to go to the carnival. I'm going to go to that carnival in London because I want to go back for carnival during a bank holiday. The only reason I did not go was because I had spent so much money on staying at a hotel near the hospital while my mother was sick and fighting for her fucking life that I ran out of fucking money. That's the only reason I didn't go to carnival. Mm-hmm. While this nigga's in the bathroom, something says to me, Blue, had you gone to carnival, you would have actually met him then. Because you didn't go to carnival, that's why you met him in December at the end of the year. Go to Sandy Springs' page because she was there.
I remember.
Nigga, I scroll. I go to September. There is Sandy Springs at Carnival dancing, and there he is behind her. This nigga's in the bathroom not knowing that he's getting snitched on. Stop fucking playing with me.
In the bathroom, on the date, he's getting snitched on.
So now I'm like, oh shit. Had we met at Carnival, I would have seen him with this girl and would have never given him the time of day.
Never.
So he comes back and I said, I love London. You ever been to London? Y'all know I can't. I'm not a two-faced bitch. If they tell me at 6:05 you were in London with this bitch, I want to ask you at 6:06 what the fuck was happening. I said, you ever been to London? He was like, yeah, my mother lives there. My family lives there actually. And I was there in the fall. I said, how was it? He was like, yo, there was mad women out there trying to talk to me. I had this friend that I had been like, you know, in her comments trying to talk to her for a while, but things were always awkward between us. But when we ran into each other in London, she had an apartment that had a really nice view in Europe, overlooking the water. And we finally fucked. And I was like, what happened after that? He was like, you know, the thing that I always do. I just couldn't keep up communication. He's not British, guys. He's Nigerian. I was like, I just could. There's a lot of Nigerians in the UK. He's like, I just couldn't keep up communication. Like, so
not people's in the comments right now corroborating that he was there. I love that when I just tell the truth and mind my business, character witnesses naturally just pop up. Don't y'all? This is the best part about being somebody who's obnoxiously honest. Not only do you not have to remember anything but what actually fucking happened, different people can corroborate just because you're telling the truth. Oh, I love it here. I love it here. Sorry, let me continue.
You went to London where you ran into a girl that you've known for years and have been hitting on her. Things have been awkward and y'all finally have sex because the view from her apartment was so dope. And then it just got awkward because you couldn't communicate. He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, that sucks. Nigga, as he's talking, he doesn't see it because my back of my phone is to him. I go to the page. I go to him in London. Him and Sandy were in London at the same time. I'm literally looking at videos of him and this woman. And I go to her page again and she says, and I'm looking at the captions, it says, oh my God, the views from my apartment are so fucking amazing. The views from my apartment are so fucking amazing. You're telling me how you fucked this bitch and because her apartment had amazing views while you were overseas. And here I am looking at her picture and you don't know who the fuck you're dealing with.
Oh my God.
When a Haitian Cuban witch warns you not to play with her, maybe listen.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe listen. So now I'm like, fuck. My spirit guides don't like this nigga, but I do.
Yeah, that's always rough.
It could just be horniness.
I was just horny. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not gonna hold you. I was like, bitch, you like to fuck and you haven't fucked.
When we get to the part in the members only area about me getting my back blown the fuck out, that's the fun part. So I'm not gonna do that in Gym Pop ever again. But in the members area, when we talk about how I finally get the coins knocked out of me, it cured me from a lot of this. It cured me. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Here, it could just be the celibacy. I'm not celibate now, thank God for that reason.
Thank God.
So we're talking on the date, and I'm feeling funny. And he says, "Can we split the bill?" Because up until this point, he was paying for everything. And he said, "Can we split the bill?" Somebody said, "That's so crazy. I was in London the same week at the end of June to see Beyonce." They would look at God. And so I'm just like, "We're splitting the bill now? Okay, interesting." And then as we're talking, I'm like, I'm not sure that I want to date this man. I'm very attracted to him. We have a million things in common.
Yeah,
in a different world, if he had gotten therapy, we'd probably be soulmates. It's the toxic version of him that's fucked up. Person to person, we are ridiculously, disgustingly compatible.
Yeah, we are.
But in this iteration of life where we both made choices, we are not compatible. I'm like, fuck, I'm not sure that I want to date this man. Every time I come to New York, this is now my third time being here where we're on a date, and he always clears his calendar. He always says, "Blue, just tell me what date you're there and I'll clear my calendar for you." But like, I'm not sure how I feel about this. And as I'm saying this,
I get the person who's asking, what I liked was the chemistry. Y'all have to understand, and this is going to sound conceited, but I'm just going to trust that you know my heart. I'm used to meeting people who enjoy me. I'm less used to meeting people that I enjoy back. It is very rare that I enjoy someone to the same degree that they enjoy me and we're attracted to each other. It happens a lot platonically, but romantically, for me to be in the presence of a man who's in awe of me and I have good chemistry with him back and we both are feeding the vibe and it's not one or the other, that's incredibly rare. And because of its rarity, that's, as a demisexual who does not feel that often, because a demisexual is somebody who has to have things in common with you, have a connection with you, find your intellect compatible, have something in common with you in order to feel sexually attracted. As a demisexual, because it is so rare for us to actually have both parties click in at the same time, and because I was being so blunt about how much I was calling out his bullshit, and he was being so blunt about how much he wanted me, he was matching my fucking energy. That happens to me maybe twice a decade. That's why. I'm being honest here. I mean, I'm not trying to say to make myself sound better or worse. I'm just trying to be honest.
A message from an app that I'm working with. Danielle says he loves to split the bill. Well, Danielle took him 3 days to finally get me to split it. I believe you, because he kept on making me split it after that. The honeymoon was fucking over. So we are talking, and as we're talking, I'm working with this app that involves a lot of A-list celebrities. I am not going to say their name because I do not want to get sued.
Yeah.
This app involves EGOTs.
Very big celebrities. Very, very big. I can't say their names.
I need you to understand the caliber of fucking people that I deal with. There are EGOTs and Black royalty on this business endeavor that I'm a consultant on.
Watch your words, Blue. Watch your words.
The CEO of the company is texting me, "Hey, yo, Blue, you know so many people. You need to find us some talent. We need some talent for this endeavor. You know so many people. If you can recommend anybody, let us know." And I'm looking right across from probably one of the top 10 most talented people I've ever met in my life.
He's very talented.
I will give him that.
Yeah.
Ridiculously fucking talented. And I was like, well, bitch, maybe your job wasn't to fuck him. It was to get him a job, because he's splitting the bill and you always pay for the Uber. I'm starting to clock what's happening here. So I said, "Hey, yo, Icky, have you ever thought about working in tech?" He said, "What?" I said, "I'm a producer on this new app, insert name of major celebrities."
By the way, if you watch Carlos King on Monday, we had a game where we said, "What are the perks of dating you?" And I very clearly said the perks of dating me are because of the beautiful life that I live and the connections that I have and the amazing side quests that I religiously go on with or without a partner. Any man who dates me, his money goes up. Because you're going to either have somebody who's going to pour into or enhance what you already have going, or I'm going to connect you to something that I think is amazing that you're actually fit for, right? So because of the fact that I'm always operating from a surplus, which means my friends and my family always get to eat off of my surplus, any man that I'm around romantically interested in, just by being fucking around me, his money's going to go up. So I'm sitting across from this nigga who's talking about how he's struggling financially, and literally he's talented in a way that I'm working as almost like a talent scout for a major fucking site that needs talent like him. So by our third date, I was already offering this nigga a job.
And they need talent and they trust my discretion. And the one thing I've assessed from these two, and because now it's the end of February, beginning of March, guys. The one thing I've assessed is that you are talented. The one thing my spirit guys are clear about is that you are talented.
They agree to that.
Yeah. Would you be open to doing work with us on this app as talent? He's like, I don't know about that. I'm like, okay. We go on our fourth date. On the fourth date, the CEO of the company blows me up again. Blows me up. Blue, you in New York? I'm actually in New York. I'm in town from Brazil. Can you stay in New York an extra day so that we can meet and talk about And by the way, the Icky, that guy that you told us, we love his energy. He's so talented. He's a good follower count. Why isn't he returning our calls? So on date number 4, 3 months in, I look at him and I say, Icky, why didn't you talk to the CEO that I hooked you up with? You keep telling me how broke you are and how you're not making enough money as a content creator. Now you have 250,000 followers, but you don't have any money. This nigga's going to pay you thousands of dollars to just be talent. Why are you not responding? He's like, you think it's worth it? I was like, dude, it's worth it. And here's the thing. I'm the producer on this project.
Yeah.
So if you do it, you'll be working with me and we already have great rapport. He says, fuck it, fine. I'll call him back tomorrow. Can we get back to the date?
First of all, the fact that I had to talk him into taking the job because he was more focused on getting back to the date, and he would later retell the story as if I was only his coworker who he never dated. The irony of the thing that I had to beg him to do, he pretended was the entirety of our connection. And shout out to the person who knows my third eye. I actually, not only is my third eye visible on my forehead, it's actually a nerve ending. Like if you touch it, I jump. When I get facials, I giggle like a little bitch. But yeah, you would think with a visible third eye and a lot of tism that people would know better, but nah, somehow we still ended up here.
Now, guys, why is this important? Do you know this man is going around telling everybody that we were only business partners and that we never dated?
Here we go.
Sit with that for a second. It took me 2 dates of me begging you for you to call back our connect at the app. But now the story is we only knew each other for work. You guys, December 30th and March 1st, which comes first? Because by March 1st, I was sending an email to the team saying, I've gotten Icky to agree to be a part of this. But we went on our first outing December 30th. So how is it that we only met for business when business was not even involved until March, and I had to repeatedly ask you before you agreed to do business with me? For guys who want to know who it is, on my Threads page, he threatened me on Threads, and I posted the screenshots and then blocked him. So if you want to go to Threads, you'll know who I'm talking about, Icky. So me and Icky are talking, and he decides that he wants to do this. And while we're talking, we have this weird conversation where he says to me, I have been studying the fingering techniques of ancient Africans.
Oh! Wait a minute. We're supposed to go on live soon, but I can't stop on the fingering techniques of ancient Africans. You guys, we're probably going to start the live about 30 or so minutes later for the members only area because I can't. Not the fingering techniques of ancient Africans. This story is just getting started. There are so many bizarre twists and turns. I'm so sorry. How did I ever say that with a straight face? Okay.
So mind you, it is now 4 dates in. We haven't even kissed. We're just holding hands, and he's telling me how beautiful I am, and he keeps telling me, I'm trying to figure out how to fucking be friends. It's hard for me. Like he's making a fucking meatball.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm sexually frustrated, and I'm real clear. I'm getting fucked soon.
Yeah, I was clear.
It's either you or somebody else. Because at this point, it's summer. men can smell when you're open. I'm turning down other niggas now.
Yeah.
The entire time that we are going on these little New York dates, I'm turning down niggas with money.
That is deeply ironic that while I was catching a feel for a broke niggas with money, and I can't even tell you the caliber. It's probably the highest caliber of men I've ever been hit on in my life. Bridget a couple of times was like, why aren't you calling this nigga back for icky? Look, man, I was fresh back in the dating streets. For those who asking how to become a member, please go in the description box. There's always something that says be a member of the academy in the description of every video, and you click on that link and it takes you right to be a member. But let's continue. I was trying to get to the tea shop story before we went to the members only, but we might not make it.
Bridget will tell you one of them who she thinks I'm crazy for turning down. And because he's a man of integrity, when I circled the block and said, I'm sorry I turned you down for the other nigga, he was like, he curved me. Shout out to that man. He had self-esteem. You curved me for a broke nigga. You deserve to be with him. So I fumbled. I fumbled the other guy.
I'll eat that.
So I'm turning down men because for some reason, he and I have this connection that I cannot understand. So he tells me, yeah, I'm studying ancient African fingering techniques. I said, what? He said, no, there's this tribe in Africa. You can tell he's been giving this speech for years. So if any of his other victims recognize his speech, please feel free to come up. There's this African fingering technique. And when if a man can't make a woman come, then she's not allowed to marry him. And when I learned about this, I decided to study it. I was like, oh, now I'm pansexual. I've dated many a stud. You guys, please don't sleep. A beautiful stud who knows how to use her fingers can digmatize you.
Very much.
Can we be honest? Shout out to the gay community.
How you doing?
As a pansexual woman who has slept with different genders, a stud with a good hand game can digmatize you. So when he starts telling, and he knows I'm pansexual, so part of me was like, are you trying to do this to keep me turned on even though we're not doing nothing? So I'm like, wait, there's an African tribe where they learn how to finger the people and then you get married because you've proven that you know how to hit the G-spot? What the I was like, can you send me this video? If anybody knows about the African tribe with the fingering techniques, please let me know because I still want to know.
I still want to know now.
So I was like, so what you're telling me is you're good with your hands. And you're already an artist. So I already know you're good with your hands. Got it. Now, why is this important? I'll tell you in a second. So I go back to LA. I have now been in New York for 2 weeks. We've been on several dates. I go back to New York and I'm not to LA. And when I'm in LA, me and my team get on a call with him. We get on the first call with him and the CEO. The CEO is very well connected. I won't say who the CEO is. And the CEO comes on the line and is like, sorry, my still getting dry. The CEO gets on the live and he says, somebody said, Blue, you're the definition of black does not crack. Oh, the 43, y'all freaking out about that? Yeah. The CEO gets on the live. He's like, y'all won't believe you. You're going to think I'm name dropping. But I had a call with Beyonce's team yesterday. And I stop and say to Icky, hey, insert so-and-so knows every fucking body. So if he name drops and talks about a bunch of big celebrities, he's not being obnoxious. That's just really his life.
Kunyaza. I'm finna look that up. Thank you. Let's continue.
Icky looks at me and says, Blue, you got some fucking nerve talking. Do you know how much name dropping you've done since we've been hanging out? What? He's like, Blue, when I ask you, how was your day? You insert name. And he's named some names that I actually had mentioned. I was like, yeah, but I live in LA. That's not really impressive to I live in LA, I work in media and I work in the industry. It's not really a big deal. It doesn't mean I think he's like, okay, but I'm just saying, you're talking about he be name dropping, you be name dropping too. That's going to be important later on, guys. And I was like, oh, he thinks I'm a name dropper? Now I'm hurt because these are my friends. And Danielle, Jesse, anybody who knows, when you live in the industry, you might be talking about one of your best friends and they happen to have an album and a Grammy.
Yeah.
But it's actually a real friend who you like, you know what I mean? It really gave me, I will be honest, in the last year, I got a complex. Whenever now I'm dating a guy and you
guys have to understand though, if somebody asks you how your day was and everybody that you're about to mention is a public figure, it's physically impossible to not name drop, but it's not a name drop. You're literally just answering the question. So the way my brain is set up, I'm like, then don't fucking ask me questions then if you know I live in LA and what I do for a living.
There's no way around it, not because I'm some special being, but because of where I live and what I do. Like, there's no way around it.
Ask me how my day is and it involves a celebrity or a public figure, I don't answer it as honestly as I used to.
I don't. It changed me.
I don't, like, because now I'm embarrassed. I'm like, oh my, do men think I'm just a loser ass name dropper? Like, he did leave me with that little bit of trauma. And I was like, okay, fuck, my bad. So we get on the meeting with the app, and the entire time we're meeting with the app, one of the guys working with the app has a boy crush on him. He's like, yo, you don't understand. You're a style icon. When me and my boys were trying to figure out how to get dressed and like change our fashion, my homegirl sent me a bunch of videos. I mean, a bunch of posts of you. You are like my style icon. So now I'm like, oh, this is perfect. One of the founders is fanboying about you because you're great at dressing. So that means they're going to want to hire you. I'm like, look at me. I just got this nigga a paycheck. Look at me. So one of the founders starts fanboying over him. This becomes an issue because then the founder spends every meeting that we have in New York trying to be best friends with him while me and him are trying to sneak off after meetings to go on dates. It becomes an ongoing joke. Oh God. Let's call him Johnny. Johnny's going to try to hang out with us after we have this meeting, not knowing that we just want to be left alone. So we spend the entire month of March having meetings in New York for this gig that I got him, and then going on dates afterwards and spending all night with each other hanging out. And every time we have a meeting, the joke is always me texting him or him texting me, how do we get rid of Johnny? Because Johnny wants to shank me because Johnny has a crush on you and he doesn't know that we're dating. You know what I mean? It's always that. So it becomes this thing of one time we're in the studio and Johnny, because Johnny's obsessed with him, takes a video of us and sent it to me. And in the video, it looks like I'm looking down at Icky's penis. I'm actually looking down at a hole in the carpet. I was like, what the fuck is that? But in the video, because he's sitting next to me, he's sitting like next to me, but like across from me, he's like, yeah, what's this, Blue? I said, oh, so Johnny wants to know if me and Icky are dating. Me and Icky aren't even fucking. We're hanging out, but we're not even fucking. This feels like the most, all we do is hold hands and he tells me how fine I am. Like,
it's getting old now.
That's not enough, right? So I'm like, damn, we need to get rid of Johnny. So I start coming to New York now on the dime.
I just need you guys to know that I'm not a prude. I would get my back blown out within 30 days of this foolishness. So don't think this whole story is me celibate, because that at some point,
time of the app. The app is paying me to come to New York, and because he's involved in the app with me, every time I come to New York, we hang out together. I'm thinking now, how crazy is it that me and this guy are talking, and New York is expensive to fly back and forth, but he and I are suddenly talking during a season where I'm being flew to New York by other people. This is interesting. One day I'm talking to one of my friends, and she says to me, Blue, can you read for yourself? Because you're getting a lot of downloads about this guy, but can you read for yourself? I say, no, I can't read for myself.
I can't.
She's like, I know someone who reminds me of you in 10 years. I'm going to call her Peaches. Peaches, because I didn't get her consent to say her government name. She's like, I know a lady named Peaches who reminds me of you in 10 years. Sure enough, Peaches is in her early to mid 50s. I'm in my early to mid 40s. It makes sense. I get on the phone with Peaches because I need some clarity, because my spirit guides keep giving me pieces. I need the whole thing. Peaches says to me the minute I get on the phone, you're a psychic too, aren't you?
And that's where we're going to stop, guys. That's where we're going to stop. You're a psychic too, aren't you? So when Blue in the present meets Blue from the future, and Blue from the future gives her a further download of all the pieces that were missing, because I could not figure out why this man was a walking red flag, but I kept wanting to continue it for the plot. I really couldn't figure it out. Peaches and that conversation made it very clear. So we're going to transfer over to the members area. You guys, I need you to understand, we are only, let's see, 1 hour and 40 minutes left. There is 4 hours left in this saga. 4 hours. Risa Tisa ain't got nothing on whatever and the fuck is going on with this right now. We are only a fifth of the way in the story. I'm as shocked as you are. There is 4 more hours of revelations, new characters, new betrayals, sex, some actual sex, thank God, today. Okay. So guys, if this is all you watched, thank you for watching part 1 of my viral. Now you see why I went viral, child. There were folks who for months were like, hey, I've been breaking this up in pieces and listening to it like a podcast every day. Right? For those who are gifted memberships, I appreciate it. For those of you who are going to be leaving us here, I love you and I adore you. And it is all love. For those of you who are going to meet me in the members area, just know I'm going to have a lot more to say in the members area. I was intentionally, somebody said we need a 78-part series. Yeah, we're in for a day. We're in for a night. So guys, for the members, I'm going to give us 10 minutes to recalibrate. So it is now 3:17. We will be meeting here at 3:30 Pacific for part 2, 3, 4, and 5 of what the fuck did I get myself into? Okay. Love y'all so much. And somebody, the data reception ain't got shit on this, y'all. If somebody wants to know what the recap comment is going to be, the recap comment is the truth is sometimes stranger than fiction. And this is definitely the truth. Okay? The truth is sometimes stranger than fiction, and this is definitely the truth. Members, I will meet you in the members only area at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. Love y'all so much. My God, I can't believe I actually went through this. Even watching it back is a lot. All right, I'll see y'all later. Love y'all. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to hype and like and subscribe because we want as many people as possible to see this, even if they don't get to see part 2. Although you should, because part 2 was worth it. Ask somebody to let you borrow $9 because part 2 is definitely worth them. Not $8.24. This could be a good. Actually, let me stop. All right, bye. See y'all in the members only area at 3:30 Pacific. Bye, family.